It's Fangan Friday, Fangan Friday, Fangan Friday. Except on a Thursday, I think. Good day, good people. It's another fine day in the year of the paradigm. Tunely Dave, Bravo Dave, Anomaly, the Normal Cars. We have a game to continue, don't we? It is Danganronpa Lapse. We are on on the road to beating old Danganronpa Lapse. I'm excited because I've been enjoying this. It's been a walk down memory lane. For right now, though, let's get our load on. Last time we finished Chapter 1. This time, we're gonna finish Chapter 2. Hold on a minute. That's right! Just yesterday I thought I was an ordinary student with no extreme talents or skills, and yet, in the courtroom, a revelation came to light and I was given the unique title, The Ultimate Memory. Remember, we had our first class trial last time, unfortunately. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. But if you have seen it and you're with me right now, old Art is dead. Because he was a killer. And Pandora was the one who was murdered. Sweet, innocent Pandora, unless this game tells me later on that she was not so sweet and innocent. That being said, here we are, Chapter 2. We were kind of knocked out by the everything that came over us, the emotion, seeing Art die. It was all too much for normal boy. But now, normal boy Echo, I'm sorry. But now, we got an ultimate talent, ultimate memory. We're just giving it to us. But whatever that entailed, I wasn't too thrilled. Because despite that revelation, it wasn't the strangest thing to occur. All my friends are dead. Well, actually, just 2 of them. Not all of them. I bit back my words and tears thinking about Pandora and Art. The truth was hard to swallow. But do you know what's easy to swallow? Some apple. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty much out of apple cider. There's like a sip left. I gotta savor that. I'm sorry, you guys. I was so right. I'm gonna have to go back to the store tomorrow. It is cider season. I'm gonna drink so much of it. The truth was hard to swallow. Throughout the class trials, many of us struggled to find footing in the discussions. None of us wanted to believe any of it. The mid. And following it, the execution. 3 of us sat in silence and the sound of Pilot's tank water, haunted by the dark happenings of the courtroom. I looked solemnly at the other 2. Missy, Ashley, their faces told it all. A tapestry of remorse and distress. And Freckles. Well, what's important is that you're all right now, Echo. Yeah, thanks you 2. I'm relieved. Ashley's voice was a whisper, I'm sorry. I'm relieved. First the door trap, then this. We exchanged a few words, and we knew from emotion alone how heavy our hearts weighed. Missy breathed a tense sigh. Just the other day, Missy was so composed, but now? A voiceless iron curtain hung over us. There were so many things to address, but fear choked our dialogue. I looked up to Ashley's tearful gaze. And looking just past her, I saw something bright sitting on the cabinet in the corner of her personal room. It was a helmet. Ash? Huh? What is it, Echo? That helmet over there. When we first met up, I remember you saying you didn't have any personal possessions, but... well, look at him. He's remembering. Yeah, I didn't mention it on the first day. I didn't want to talk about it then. Sorry, you don't have to. No, I think this should be brought up. Ashley's face sunk. She turned to the cabinet. Turned to face the cobalt blue item. I'm sure you can recall, because you're all the ultimate memory and whatnot. I told you about the person this helmet belongs to. I nodded gently. Ashley sighed deeply, and Missy was quiet, politely listening. And it is also a new CG. I got into a fight with my friend, another ultimate student, Silva Prower, race car driver, yep. That fight was about the very preservation project we're involved in right now. The project was but a low whisper among us ultimate students, rather. Word was that we would be offered state-of-the-art living and protection, seeing as our talents would be greatly of great worldly benefit. As soon as I received my offer to join, rather, I couldn't say no. I asked Silva if he accepted as well, but Silva declined, wholly disagreeing with the offer vehemently. He doubted the validity of a private group that only existed in the hopeful hearsay of strangers. But what position was I to deny safety when it would be offered to me so graciously? With our differing opinions on the matter coming to a clash, he eventually gave up on me entirely. Yet, against his wishes, I made attempts to get his name in. And look where we are now. Well, I bet he's glad he didn't end up here. Ash began to tear up and buried her head in her hands. I'm such an idiot. Well, I wonder why they specifically had that here. To taunt her, mock her? Unknown. Or maybe the mastermind behind it all is Silva. I'm such an idiot. Her voice trembled. Ashley, you're not an idiot for caring about a friend's well-being. I was foolish for thinking the killing game would go away if I removed Echo from being involved in my troubles. Being ultimate students, it only leads to ultimate levels of trouble, but I was wrong for thinking I could shoulder my own tragedy on my own. Ashley looked at me with pleading eyes. They were filled with deep sorrow and regret. I'm sorry, Echo. I realize now it's more important than ever that we stick together. She grasped my hand firmly, but her own hands were shaking from fear. It was only natural. There's a killing game going on and whatnot. I felt a tear fall from my face on the back of, onto the back of Ashley's hand. Well, dang. Missy's voice slipped in. Oh, why don't we get something from the dining hall to unwind? Everyone seems rather tense, and I think taking a beat could help us de-stress. Huh? How could you think of getting a snack at a time like this? I heard my voice cry out in desperation. Pandora and Art's lives were just taken away. Well, you still gotta eat. I'm sorry, but I don't think we're of sound mind right now. That's right, we shouldn't be wasting time doing nothing. Then what do you suggest we do? I think we should get a snack. That's what I suggested. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm very emotional right now. We need to escape. Missy, you're the ultimate tactician. I'm begging you. Come up with something, anything, any sort of plan to get us out of here. What's the point of ultimate talents if we can't use them with, can't do anything with them? Missy flinched. She looked away, attempting to hide her reaction. I realized what I just said. That's my bad. I went too far. Echo, it's fine. However, Missy's words betrayed her emotions. She must have felt tense after everything as well, but she tried to retain her composure nonetheless. I let out a deep sigh. I'm sorry for losing my temper. You're right. A snack could help me clear my head. Missy. Missy's expression eased, but she said nothing. Rather, she got up and offered me a hand. She held me out of bed, and we quietly made our way to the dining hall. Oh. This poor group. Our gang's having a bad time. The halls were eerily quiet, as if even sound were draped underneath the shadow of the evening light. Oh yeah, it's night still. Or evening. I guess we can't actually go to get snacks at night. In the dining hall, we saw Forte sitting in his lonesome. Good evening, folks. Forte's voice was a low mumble. Good evening, folks. His posture stone. He sat with his hands clasped on the table, resting just before the dining table centerpiece, Pandora's basket of pastries. Oh, they look so good. Oh, one of them's got some fruit inside, man. That's my favorite. Man, we can't have nice things. Missy's idea to get a snack was quickly dashed when we were met with the memento of Pandora. My stomach twisted. But, like, she would want us to eat those snacks, y'all. She would want us to eat them, so we should. That's just what I'm... Look. If one of my friends was a baker and I knew how much it meant for them for people to enjoy and feast upon their snacks, I would be munching right now. That's all I'm saying. If somebody got to do it, I'm gonna do it. Are you all right, Forte? The answer was plainly painted on his face. No one was of sound mind after what we just witnessed. This the same day, or is it the next day? The next evening? I don't remember. Even though he didn't answer outright, the question alone gave him a bit of comfort. Indeed. It will be a while yet for me to come to terms proper, but toujours in hosse, après un shoot. Boy! Thank you, Echo. I hope I wasn't the only one. I was like, huh? Always rise after a fall. Now, how do you know? Y'all speak the same French, maybe? Always rise. Pain exists so we can grow and learn from it. What we do with this feeling of misfortune is what will motivate us to move forward. We learn from tragedy and grow forward. It's really all we can do. How poetic, how theatrical. Oh, I love the butterfly that's on his thing. It reminds me of, I don't know which game has that butterfly, but it's one of those things. I feel like that's the butterfly. Whenever I hear the butterfly effect, that's the butterfly that I think of. And I don't know if that's like a butterfly that's commonly used in like Until Dawn, or what other game was like the butterfly effect. I don't remember. Dang, I really don't remember. I enjoyed that game too. Whatever. List for me games in the comments that that relate to the butterfly effect or use that as a main mechanic. And I will tell you if that's the game that I'm thinking of. Continue. I must imagine art was deserted. Regardless, his generous fixings being driven into a companionless corner like that would make anyone miserable. And being here now with our friends Missy and Ashley as well as the others should teach us that we have friends all around us who would feel anguish without one another. Alas, it is hard to think clearly when your mind has been clouded by despair. I feel terrible for art, his swirling, desolate emotions pushed too far. I wish to make it known that I care for you all deeply. Oh, Forte! Forte's melancholic voice stung my heart. Missy and Ashley themselves had a wistful look in their eyes as they nodded in assent. We hardly knew each other, but I could feel the bond our adversity was bringing us closer together. Our camaraderie knit together by taut strings of fear. If I may, as a precaution, I suggest no one travel alone. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous to go alone. Take this. A witness, in the event something were to happen. It's not a thought I wish to entertain, but such steps must be necessary if we're going to be at the forefront of the killing game's unpredictability. I agree, and not only that, Cyrus's intense behavior could pose a potential problem. Huh? What happened with Cyrus? Well, after the trial, you recall what Zero said, correct? Yeah, I got the memory of an elephant. An elephant never forgets. And Echo even remembers what the elephant forgets. But I forget what the elephant remembers. I digress. Let's continue. Cyrus Sirica is someone to be wary of. Ultimate charisma? That's a terrible cover. Nyak, nyak, nyak. After you collapsed, he started acting suspiciously. Seems I've garnered some distrust amongst you all, no thanks to that lousy Zero. Cyrus, what is Zero talking about? No use hiding it. I think a reintroduction is only appropriate. Cyrus Sirik, the ultimate confidential informant for the what? The ultimate confidential informant for the Preservation Project? You're with the Preservation Project? Of course. I rallied you all here after all. So what's with the facade? You're in this game too after all. Did you think you could keep up with the niceties all the way through? That's for me to know. And all you need to know is this. You are all doomed from the moment you set foot here. I know for a fact, nothing you do will save you from this game. Oh. And then he crept out of the courtroom. Like a creep. A creep creeping out of the courtroom. leaving us all confused to say the least. After that, Missy and I rushed you to my room so you could get to rest. Sei and Kanan have been unresponsive all evening. I don't know how Lyle is faring, but he is likely in a similar despondent shape. They've returned or retired to their rooms, as far as I know. However, if anyone would like to explore, find a partner and keep yourself safe. I cannot guarantee everyone's safety, nor can I force everyone to follow my lead. But I hope you know, rather, I wish for everyone's safety. Oh, Missy. Missy was strained. She wished to protect everyone, rather. I do too. But it was difficult since none of us knew what could happen next. I'm awfully curious about something, though. As we were returning to the foyer in the courtroom, I noticed there was a button for the third floor elevator lit. Third floor? I saw that too, yo. I don't remember anything about the third floor, dude. Did you want to investigate the third floor? It's late, but I did want to make a brief round to see what's in store for us. I'll come with you. Echo, did you want to get back to your room for some proper rest? I imagine you've been feeling quite fatigued lately. No, Ash, look, I only got electrocuted one time, and then my emotions got the better of me, and I got an ultimate talent, so I may have been down and out for a little bit, but I'm fine. I'll do a little investigation, and besides, whatever I see, I'll remember it. My stomach was in a knot. I didn't want to leave Ashley. No, it's fine. I'll come with you. I mean, there was a world where, you know, Missy could kill Ashley, you know? We would have been the last one to be like, no, someone else was there, and we can't call her out on this. I feel kind of restless anyway. Walking around could help. Okay, just don't push yourself, alright? I nodded slowly. If you folks are going to explore, would you mind seeing me off to my living quarters? Missy and Ashley obliged, and we all left the dining hall together. I kind of like how this characterization is going. I feel like after a first murder in like a normal Danganronpa game, there's not enough people taking like precautions this heavily. Like, hey, we just all need to pair up. A lot of people just afraid to leave their rooms. Like, I know that's happened to maybe not that often at all, really. But I digress. We'll continue. Entering the elevator again, we travel to the third floor that had recently been opened up. After a low rumbling, the elevator stopped, revealing the new area. Okay, 4 rooms, a digital kiosk rather, just outside the elevator, displaying a map of the grounds as we approached. Smokehouse Lounge, Casino, Garage, and Art Gallery. 4 new activity amenities are available to us. On the left, there's a smoke lounge connected to a casino. On the right, there's an art gallery connected to a garage. But of course, they're closed to us from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, Missy's voice trailed off. I followed her gaze into the smaller hallway that surrounded the perimeter of the main activity rooms. Familiar doors dotted the hallway. An unknown school emblem decorated the door, but Missy's eyes were fixated on one. And Ashley was looking at another one that bore a symbol similar to the one I've seen on her race car helmet earlier. Huh? There was another full set of personal rooms on the third floor. Missy and Ashley looked at each other with astonishment. You know, I never learned about what these were for. So I'm actually very excited to finish this game. Because I'm starting to remember a lot about this game, especially after playing the full first chapter again. They swiftly ran to their respective doors, but before they could do anything, I see you've met the rest of your classmates. His flat, disembodied voice sent a chill up my spine. The two of them swung around to see Cyrus in a dark corner of the hallway. Cyrus continued, disregarding Missy and Ashley's grim faces. It's too late. Silva and Darling, they're already out of the picture. Ashley and Missy reacted to the respective names, rather. I remember Ashley giving me information about Silva, so the other unknown was in relation to Missy. The atmosphere was suddenly heavy with paralyzing glares sent in every which way. Why do you know this? Because he works with the PP, the Preservation Project. What exactly do you plan to do with these threats? He shrugged indifferently, unconcerned with answering the questions tossed his way. Cyrus, who are you? I'm the Preservation Project's informant. I was chosen to handpick the class that appears for this game. His leering eyes piercing the very air between us. What about me? Why'd you pick me? But Echo Pine, they're different. I was immobilized at the sudden mention of my name. Why did he say my name? I didn't need to appear, I was already here. I didn't even know if I was breathing. The three stood at a stalemate, palpable dread radiating from their deadlocked eyes. Please stop your facade. Facade. I think my new gimmick is one character per game is going to intentionally mispronounce one specific word. If he ever says facade again, it's gonna be facade. You all heard Zero in that class trial. The Cyrus you knew before you wasn't the real me. He blew my cover, so I'm here in full form. Cyrus let that threat linger. The astringent potential for danger amassed a lead weight at the bottom of my stomach. Missy and Ashley closed in on the other side of me. On either side of me. They almost had me, bracing themselves against his possible machinations. But he just sulked away. Cyrus's husky, low laugh melting into the darkness. I was dizzy with fear, but Missy's firm voice kept me grounded. Hurry, let's return to the living quarters. Echo is they. Learn that. Actually, I think there is, we'll come back to it. She grabbed my hand, leading me to the darkness towards the elevator that was some ways behind us. We hustled into the elevator and rode back to the main foyer. Back in the foyer, soft light from the chandelier glittered, delicately lighting the main hall. There, we crossed paths with Kanan, who was isolated in the foyer once again. Kanan! Ashley's voice was a whisper. Kanan! That she didn't seem to reach Kanan's ears. We slowly approached her and saw her cold expression. But her face gave off a different demeanor somehow. Rather than an icy gaze, we were met with a stony, soulless stare. Kanan, are you alright? I saw her come to, her eyes softened as she turns towards us. She murmured a quiet affirmation. Her cold exterior melted into a brief moment of vulnerability. Then my curiosity got the better of me and I capitalized on the brevity of the silence. Kanan, I have to know. Why did you run away when I collapsed from the electrocution? It's only natural to feel. I'm sorry. Let me redo that line. I'm having a moment of vulnerability. It's only natural feel fear. It's only natural to feel fear when you see someone get hurt. Huh? I was frightened. It's odd. I wanted to leave this mansion as soon as I woke up, but something stopped me. She gripped the instant camera she had hung on to a short wrist strap. When I woke in my personal room with only this camera in my possession, I couldn't help but feel unnerved. I stood in the foyer wanting to leave but felt unable to due to a mysterious bad feeling. And it turns out that feeling was right. After I saw you scream and collapse, my suspicions were confirmed, but I didn't know what to do. I waited for anyone to come and see you just so they could handle it. Forte. You know what happens from there. Poor Kanan. I feel like she's been, secretly the biggest victim in this game. I left someone else to, unless she's the mastermind, low-key. That would be crazy. I don't think that's the case, though. I left someone else to help you because I didn't want to deal with that event. Although her face was no less intelligible than before, her voice was shaking. She was just as scared, if not more, than I was. She was desperately wanting to protect herself from being the one who would point out the culprit as long as possible, knowing that she couldn't delay the inevitable revelation. Kanan sighed heavily. Excuse me. I'm going to bed. Kanon briskly walked towards the living quarters. Missy and Ashley gave Kanon a soft goodbye as each retired for the night. Left with nothing else to do in the dark of night, we followed suit to our individual rooms. Alright. Sounds like a plan. Ashley stopped me in the living quarter halls. Echo, let's take care of each other, yeah? Of course. That doesn't need saying. Ah! Ashley mumbled something but cut herself off. Instead, she gave me a hug. I closed my eyes and allowed myself to be swathed in the comfort of her embrace. Good night, Echo. Good night, Ash. Entering my personal room, I felt more alienated. This personal room? This comfort and luxury must have been fabricated to create a false sense of comfort. And behind that sense of comfort, a facade of comfort, the comforting facade that was comforting me, that was all a facade of terror and malice was hiding. A killing game with no remorse for the participants. I shook the nerves out and collapsed on my bed. I want to go to bed for a long, long time. Till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the Echo they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. A rocket man, burning out a fuse up here alone. Exhaustion overcame me, and another day rather would come to pass. Day 4. Oh my gosh, the moon? We're loony for the Luna? Oh, that's just a nice transition. I was like, is the moon important? Are we on the moon? Chapter 2, Every Fire is a Lesson Learned. We love a good fire. Well, that's not good, actually. We're going to the smoking lounge. There's a smoking lounge, right? Oh, wow. I have a feeling something might happen in the smoking lounge. Kanaka, kanaka. I opened my eyes right at the sound of knocking. Pardon me, but good morning. I'm just gonna guess it's Missy. Hey! It's Missy Vesper. I think I called her Missy Viper earlier, but you know, that's incorrect. But Viper would be a dope last name. Outside for Echo. I looked at the time, 7:29. Good morning, Missy. I'll be right out. Take your time. I stopped the alarm before it rang and made myself presentable. Echo did their hair, get themselves straight, stepped out of their personal rooms to greet Missy. I noticed that she was clutching a small item folded in cloth. Before I could ask about it, she started through the hallway and followed alongside her. I followed alongside her. What's going on? I'm gathering students for a personal announcement. I will elaborate when we arrive in the foyer. She raised a small item indicating it was going to be the subject of the meeting. You're the last student I approached. Those who won't be present did not answer when I knocked. However, when I approached Sei, she replied to the door saying she wasn't going to move at all. She said that if she was going to die, it would happen regardless of what she did. What? That sounds very Sei, actually. It was a shockingly fatalistic thing to say, but I wasn't going to force her out. That girl, Sei worries me. Do you think she'll do anything dangerous? I'm sorry? I meant that I worry for her well-being. I don't wish to be too demanding in any case, that she might be offended or take it the wrong way, but... Yes, he sighed. She seemed upset that she couldn't do anything to help Sei. I'm sure Sei appreciates the sentiment, but... I'm sure Sei appreciates the sentiment. Wrong voice. We just do what we can do, right? I apologize. You're absolutely correct. This expression eased as we finally arrived in the main foyer. And then paste the main foyer on the screen. Thank you very much. In the foyer, I saw a small group of students that Missy gathered. The group was Forte, Kanon, Ashley, Missy, and myself. You know, the F-K-A-M-E. There's certainly a word we can spell with these letters. Fame K. Cam, call, Mech. Actually, there's an interesting 5 letters. Mech, Cam, yeah, no. That's a future me. That's a future you guys problem. So Lyle, Cyrus, and Sei couldn't make it. I'm not surprised Cyrus is absent given his behavior last night. And Lyle should be a person of concern as well, since he was so distraught from the conclusion that we came to, discovering Art was the culprit behind Pandora's death. Art just wanted to protect us. It's not his fault. Art wanted to protect us? Oh, I understand. It's not his fault Pandora had an incredibly suspicious note. I don't imagine seeing her with the notepad, with the note rather helped, what with his head being so full of distress. That note is fairly damning. I never would have thought she would be in possession of such an oddity. But despite that, I feel like she had good intentions behind it. She specifically pulled me aside the night before to ask if I knew anything about the contents. That didn't seem like something a mole would do, right? We pondered the source of the note, and it feels like we already have our mole, you know what I mean? We pondered the source of the note, but we couldn't presume much about it without the strange item in our hands. Our morning was already off to a rocky start. That brings me to what I have gathered for you all here today. Missy had the floor, taking place facing the elevator at the centerpiece table, while the rest of us encircled the opposite side. Please do not be alarmed when I show you this. She placed the small cloth. I remember this scene happening. I just don't remember what the item is that she'd been carrying on the wooden table. I remember now. In fact, I remember a lot more about this chapter now. It was a revolver with a note. Missy, what's the meaning of this? I told Echo before, but I'll reiterate it for the rest of you as well. I had plans to contribute my skills to the preservation project prior to the events of arriving here. However, upon arriving in my personal room, I found this revolver. Read the note tied to the handle. Kanan looked over and carefully read from afar. As a student interested in working with the preservation project, one must attempt their hand in a single round of reverse Russian roulette. We believe every student should they be destined to live, change the odds of the world, will surpass the incredible game of chance no matter the odds. So a 5-to-1, swing, 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 bang and hope that it's blank. Reverse Russian roulette. And a game of unbelievable chance. 5 chambers out of 6 in the gun are occupied with a bullet. The player is to spin the chamber, lock the chamber in, place the gun in the barrel against their head, and pull the trigger and hope to survive. Man, you'd have to be an ultimate lucky student for that. With white hair and be obsessed, maybe even crazed with hope. Without the knowledge of whether or not the bullet will be fired, your life is in the hands of fate. Huh? That's absurd. What are the possible odds of someone surviving that? 1 out of 6, Ashley. The odds are far too high to take a chance on. One would have to be inconceivably fortunate. Yo, 1 out of 6 is not that bad. If you do that, you have about a 16.6 something, I think. I think it's about a 17-ish% chance of surviving that. You know what I mean? So, just spin that thing, hold the gun, pull the trigger tonight, and hope that it's not your last night. You didn't play it, right? Who would dare risk such a gamble if they were not certain they would survive? Missy's jaw clenched. Did she really not play the round? Ooh, y'all, what if she did play the round? I don't know if I don't know if I asked that the last time I played this. That said, I'm showing my hand because I want to suspend my disbelief. Huh? Is there a war where she did, and then she's already known about the secrets of the preservation project, and now she's still playing the game? Huh? I sincerely want to trust you all. So I hope you can trust me as well after I reveal this wretched thing. I wish for you all to believe that there is no danger to be contrived from me, as I have no intention to harm any of you. She carefully folded the cloth back over the revolver. Have any of you heard of a concept called the Stockdale Paradox? No, I actually have not heard of that paradox. I've certainly read it before. I do know about Chekhov's gun, though, and you just showed me one, so... I can't say that I have. I'll explain. It's a philosophy of duality, named after a vice principal candidate, presidential candidate. The Stockdale Paradox is a concept in which one must never lose faith that they will prevail in the end, while still confronting the cruel facts of their reality. It is a paradox of the self rather. An individual has to be able to balance the horrors of reality with the optimism of success to truly be able to overcome the worst situations. This mindset, the acknowledgement of two opposing sides, is paramount in achieving one's goals. One mustn't get so hopeful that they ignore the gravity of their grave surroundings. In our case, we must balance out the hope that we will escape the clutches of this place against the despair of the ultimate death within these walls. Correct, I need to get some tea. The four of us were petrified. Hope? Despair? It was hard to process. Thank you for placing this trust in us, Missy. Hope? Despair! Hope! Despair! That brings me back to V3. We will not let you down. Kanan remained silent but nodded in agreement at Forte's statement. Thanks, Missy. You're risking a lot, but if none of us plan to kill, then there really shouldn't be anything to worry about. Of course, there shouldn't be anything to worry about. We're all reasonable people, but fear is a powerful tool. By showing you this item and telling you my intentions, I hope to dispel any fear among us. Among us? I see. Thank you all for your cooperation and understanding. I couldn't believe how bold Missy was being. She could have easily left the gun in her room, out of sight, and essentially out of our realm of existence where no one could, well, here's the other thing. Yeah, where no one could cause harm with it. The fact that she has a personal item, the fact that Ash has a personal item, lends credence to the fact that everyone has a personal item. Who's to say nobody else has a weapon? Or another gun? But she was venturing with high hopes that our group truly had no ill will. And who's to say that Pandora's personal item wasn't that note? Not for nothing. But we'll continue. Everyone agreed no one would dare fire the gun. Even so, in a killing game, a weapon presented itself seemingly out of nowhere. Stranger so, it seems like some students were left with some sort of item in their rooms upon waking up. First Kanan remarking upon her camera, then Ash having Silva's racing helmet and finally Missy with a revolver. Missy with a revolver in the library! I solved it! Clue! Clue did it! But I also recall Forte having something that was seemingly out of place from the mansion. Was it this mask? Not the scarf. I think he has a scarf, but I think it's a mask, right? There were masks in the theater room, but not in his personal room. Was it the scarf? He has a scarf draped over his shoulders until... Okay, I guess he had sheet music, huh? That's right. I don't know if that's actually out of place. There's a music room, right? That's why I was like, nah, there could be music in the music room. He was leafing through some sheet music, huh? I wonder. What was the meaning of this? Crash? 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 Bandicoot? Where is he? I pondered the strange trend. The sound of shattering glass filled the room. Our group glanced at each other for a moment before running off to the source of the sound. Through the dining hall and into the kitchen, the sound persisted louder and louder. Oh my gosh! Hey, that's a baller shot, though, actually. There we found Lyle and the kitchen itself in a state of disarray. Broken glass and battered metal littered the floor as Lyle clutched a metal pipe, aiming for the oven. Lyle, what on earth are you doing? Have you lost your mind? What's it look like I'm doing? I'm testing the rules! The rules state we're not allowed to damage major assets, yet here I am breaking everything. And so far, nothing has happened. Don't you understand? The rules aren't enforced. Art wouldn't have had to kill Pandora. He wouldn't have had to die by our vote. He's kinda right. In the circumstance of a game, rules are placed to create restriction, and yet there's no arbiter or custodian or mastermind here to punish us for breaking the rules. So why should we follow the rules in the first place? We thought our lives were threatened since we were trapped by that electrocuting door. Did that ever actually happen? What do you mean? Of course it happened. Why would I lie about something like that? You were the only one afflicted by it. For all I know, Echo, you're the mastermind behind all of this. What? Go touch the door then! You collapsed, and Forte and his good-natured heart came running to your aid. Well, I guess you... That collapse could have been entirely fake, because of that we were simply trapped by our own fears. Be that as it may, that fact remains that the door was armed and is currently barricaded. There can't be no reason for that. Despite Forte's observation, Lyle ignored him. He was completely absorbed in his thoughts. Art didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. Poor guy. He muttered to himself, he was muttering to himself rather, as his grip tightened on the pipe. Is he gonna kill one of us with this pipe? Lyle's eyes gleamed with intent. Those enraged eyes locked onto mine as he dropped the pipe, the metal crushing the glass debris into dust. I'm not going to die, not after him. Well, cool. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I'm sorry, you guys. This is actually very minor. Usually when I'm working from home, I'll be sitting here, and if I have a meeting with actual people that I need to do a video for, I'll put these lights up, and then this is this side of the room over here is pretty professional. It's got this nice little painting. I usually take Anomaly down. I have one of those. So here, can I go back? Huh. Interesting. I was gonna say, usually with these games made in this engine, you can go back one thing, but I digress. We're ding dong bing bonging. I've also changed my shirt. Let's do it. With impeccable timing, an announcement rang throughout the halls, and that announcement was, "It is now 9 a.m. dorks, and welcome to day 4 of 7. Yeah, it's only a 7-day game." And there's also something I like about this game. It's not a game that's it doesn't push the envelope of hey, this is a Danganronpa game, so it has to have 16 people, and it has to go over 6 chapters, you know what I mean? You can do it in less, as long as you're telling the story that you want to tell. Continue, Zero. And we're already halfway through. How exciting! Oh, however, there are far too many people alive right now, so we need to fix that. Today's force motive question is, do you believe your talent can benefit all of humanity? Yes, as ultimate students at the top of your field, society will expect you to contribute yourselves and respective talents rather to the world as a whole. Ponder this question as we set up our next motive for you all. Coming soon to ultimate students everywhere. Blah, Waluigi, Wario. I listened to the announcement best I could, and the rest of the group paid no attention. Instead, they were trying to calm Lyle after her spiel. That's fair. Lyle, we want to leave too, believe me, but we should put our heads together and come up with a plan instead of wrecking everything. No, you'll only get in the way. Lyle aggressively pushed his way through us, leaving the dining hall for the foyer, with Missy giving chase. Lyle, stop following me. I didn't even click that. Lyle immediately was like, nah, stop following me. I alone will put together the secrets of this awful killing game if I'm not the ultimate puzzle master. Cyrus is right. If I don't act now, nothing will get done. Oh, you talked to Cyrus? I was gonna say, you spoke to Cyrus? I ran into him this morning in the kitchen. He doesn't concern me in the slightest. With how Cyrus is behaving now, there's no telling what will happen next. You really ought to be careful around him. Lyle ignored Missy's plea and marched over to the elevator, slamming the buttons. He turned around and held up a fist with a crumpled piece of paper in it. Oh, he's got the crumpled piece of paper in it. I will find the other person who knows the secrets of this note. That's the only clue Art left me, damn it, and I will do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this. Lyle gave us one last parting glare before entering the elevator. Click. The elevator door closed, leaving the rest of us in a state of bewilderment. With Lyle on edge as it is, a talk with Cyrus sounds like a recipe for disaster. What do you suppose he's trying to do now? I can only surmise that Lyle might be going to the 3rd floor to scour the area for other students. It's a new location that needs to be turned over after all. Forte and Missy sighed in unison. Let us hope he does not do anything reckless. I mean, he already did something reckless. He made a wreck of the kitchen. But just as Forte said that, I heard footsteps at the top of the stairs. Could it be Cyrus? I love this portrait, actually. Cyrus replied in a nonchalant manner, but his face was different. In the light of day, Cyrus's expression was twisted into something disconcerting. Missy and Cyrus exchanged fierce looks once more, only this time, the two of their emotions were catalyzed. Before we could react, Missy moved swiftly downward to pursue Cyrus at the top of the stairs. Missy, wait, what are you doing? Ashley went to chase her, but Missy's firm voice stopped Ashley in her tracks. Don't worry, I'm confident nothing will happen here. I'd like a word with this informant. She announced her vague plan as she arrived at the top of the stairs and forcefully grabbed Cyrus by the arm. Cyrus didn't say a word. Rather, he just made a disgusted face as Missy pushed him into the jazz club. She slammed the door, and silence befell the room. Should we be concerned? Missy has a plan. I have faith that she will carry it out to execution, rather, with the least casualties. One being Cyrus. Yeah, Miss Ultimate Tactician probably has some cards up her sleeve. Let's just leave her be. Cannon made a rather snide remark, but that said, it seemed like everyone was confident Missy had a plan, seeing as no one wanted to pursue her. I guess we should all check out the 3rd floor together. I hate it in here. Why don't we carry on the investigation ourselves? Investigation of what? The mansion? We haven't found a way out of this place. I agree. The 3rd floor opened up to us last night, so there could be an opportunity for escape. Kanan, would you like to join me? Perhaps Missy proposed traveling in pairs to protect ourselves, so if I may. Sure. With a stern reply, Kanan briskly began escalating the foyer stairs. Excuse us. Forte followed suit, which left me and Ashley in the foyer. We should check out the 3rd floor again now that the amenities are open. And hopefully we'll find those other students. Her voice was low. Ashley was pale with worry. There were signs of her friend Silva being here as well, the helmet in his personal room on the 3rd floor. But the fact that we hadn't run into anyone for 3 days was cause for concern. I didn't want to say anything though. Ash, I'm sure we'll find Silva and the others. Ashley's eyes softened. Thanks, Echo. She gave a smile once more before starting towards the stairs. I began to follow, but something was tugging at me. Hey, Ash? Should we take the gun? Ashley hesitated. I think we should trust Missy. I think we should trust everyone. It's ridiculous, though. I mean, trust? It's such a lofty, intangible concept. Alright, Echo. Who can say whether or not someone will uphold it? Echo, are you saying you won't? Of course not, it's just... Then that's that. Huh? Missy wants to believe in us, rather, and I'm guessing from our observed behavior during the trial last night, rather, she has no reason to believe that any of us are malicious. In fact, the one person she thinks is the most dangerous is Cyrus, and she's dealing with him personally. She placed her trust in us, and now we just have to trust her. It's a give and take. I see. Me, Echo, learning about trust. Huh. Trust. Trust! I pondered the concept as we made our way to the 3rd floor. Most of me is starting to wonder if Echo is even like a human being. For real. Arriving at the 3rd floor, Ashley saw Kanan and Forte entering the garage. Ashley herself revisited the door with Silva's school emblem and tugged on the doorknob. Locked. Figures. She knocked lightly a couple of times, but to no avail. Her eyes were dark. Hey. Maybe those other students were just gathered somewhere else in the building. It's a pretty big place. This whole floor rather, was hidden from us for a while after all. Ashley snapped out of her trance. Her gaze met mine. Mine. Yeah, we'll see him soon enough. I don't know about that, Ash. She lightly caressed the door. She was like, I wish you would be outside this door, my friend. Are you alive or are you 6 feet under? Grind again. I would understand. Anywho, she caressed the door, and she sure did. Well, let's see if we can. We can't find anything on this floor. Kanan and Forte just went into the garage, so why don't we check out the other rooms in the meantime? Let's check out. Guys, look, it's you can see it. See, look, I can see it now. You can always see it, but I can see it now, baby. It's been fixed. Give me the smoke lounge, the casino, or the art gallery. Check out the art gallery. Let's visit the art gallery, for our friend Art. The character, not the concept or the person. Let's check it out. Okay, some nice art here. Crossing the 3rd floor, we came across the spacious art gallery. Among the room pairs, there was a room connected to the garage, by a set of double doors on the right. It's very picturesque and modern. Yeah, the whole environment is very inviting. Could be some kind of exit or clue be hidden in a place like this, though. Guess we'll find out. The art gallery was situated in a warehouse-styled room, rather. The high, open ceilings, adorned with bright lights, gave way to several painted canvases that decorated the walls. Large, colorful tables were lined up in the center, facing a small stage that held a sculpture for artists to see. Off to the side was an insect closet stocked with shelves chock full of supplies. Ashley seemed to be out of sorts. I wanted to talk and take her mind off of her worries for a bit. So, I did have an ultimate talent after all. What do you suppose I'm meant to do with it? Well, it helped during the trial. That aside, I'm not really sure what kind of practical uses it has. Ashley fell quiet, instead focusing her attention on investigating the room at hand. Okay, I guess she doesn't want to talk. At a loss, we decided to move on. I guess let's go to the casino. No, we gotta save the casino for last. See where the smoke lounge. Oh, the smoke lounge is. Y'all know we love to do a little gamble. Gamble a little bit. Gamble a little bit. We entered the smoke lounge, a large room with a rustic design. Among the room's pairs, this room was connected to the casino by a set of double doors on the right. So the double doors on the right to the casino. Upon entering, rather, we were met with a heavy, ashy door. I covered my nose to block the smell, but the air itself was thick and suffocating. Echo, are you okay? Yeah, I wasn't expecting the air to be so dry. Oh my gosh, y'all, I got a new autumn candle. Alright, whenever someone dies next, we gonna light a candle for them, because I can't wait to smell that candle, actually, man. I'm actually very excited. That has changed this entire episode. What kind of group would allow students access to a smoke lounge? That seems irresponsible. Well, there's also a bunch of lines in here, it looks like. Yeah, what kind of ultimate talent could utilize this room anyway? Who knows? Let's just take a quick look around for some sort of exit and move on. I glazed over the room, from one end to the other with a single sweeping look. It was a decadent looking set. Leather seating, fine woodcraft tables were cozy, each housing a small candle for comforting effect. The walls had fine beverages locked behind a glass case with a bar to match on the opposite side. It was highly refined atmosphere overall that felt rather unwelcoming to those who didn't indulge this sort of recreation. Poked around the areas I thought may be suspicious, but didn't really know what to look for. I wanted to try again. Lyle probably has some sort of trick to memorizing the puzzle block patterns. I could ask him, right? Yeah, I think there's usually some kind of math involved, so there's that. Oh, I'm bad at math, huh? I know you're bad at math. Finding nothing fruitful of note till we move to our next location. Y'all, are you ready to gamble? Gamble. It's gamble time to the casino. It's gamble time. Let's gamble. Okay, let's gamble. I've been excited to do a little gamble. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I see a roulette table. Over there. I think slot machines over there. We love to see that. We visited the casino, a dim room with expensive design. Among the room pairs, it's connected to the smoke lounge with the double doors on its left. A casino? Well, I suppose it pairs well with the smoke lounge. I guess some kind of ultimate gambler would thrive here, but still. Gamble. This is, along with the smoke lounge, seems a bit out of our depth. I'm sorry. I don't know why you were impersonating me there for a second, but we're not here for recreation, so let's see what we can find. We split up to search between the rows of the slot machines that lined up one side of the room and the card tables that occupied the opposite. The slot machines spun listlessly as they sat idly by. The card tables themselves looked rather lonely, no chips or cards adorned on the felt. I paced through the room twice over, but didn't spot anything of note. We kept up coming short in conversation, shuffling to the lengths of the rooms in silence. I stopped peppering Ashley with questions pertaining to my talent. She clearly wasn't in the mood to address it, rather. Well, now that I have an ultimate talent, I'm gonna be caught in ultimate level trouble. Oh, Echo? Ashley sighed. This whole ultimate debacle, such thing has no bearing on what we have. You don't need to find any sort of use for that talent. I couldn't tell you what all a jockey could do for the future. Was it too much to simply wish for safety? That in return we must contribute everything in our power to get something so basic? I wish the project weren't so insistently utilitarian about our talents. Pandora said something like that on the third day in response to the force motive question. That baking was simply her passion. Sorry, The talent assignment was so weird and out of nowhere, to be honest, I'm not even sure I believe it. I just wanted to take your mind off of the sentence saying. I didn't know where to go from there. Thanks, Echo. We kept looking. Well, you know what? They did a good job that time. They did a good job, Ash, you know, since they're, they were really trying to help here. The 3 rooms we visited were stocked with a decadent supply of recreation, but the fact is that we couldn't find an exit or any sign of life. Any sign of life, rather, were cause for concern. Our entrapment felt more and more isolating with every discovery. We never went to the, we never actually went to the garage. There's a room to check. I wonder if Kanan and Forte finished their investigation. No reason not to join them if they haven't. Into the garage we go. I actually feel like I remember the garage. Ash and I entered the garage through its heavy double doors. There weren't any signs of Forte or Kanan in the room. The garage was another warehouse-sized room, housed with a large collection of vehicles. The various... Oh, you know what? This might be in relation to Mr. Racecar himself. Now that I think about it. Various kinds of makes and models were lined up like the warehouse rows of soldiers. The luster of each steel body gleamed proudly under the beams of display lights. A car collection. Huh? I turned around to see Ashley shaking. Is this a joke? Ash? This is some kind of sick joke, isn't it? I went to Ashley's side, but she was shrugged away rather. She stumbled towards a cobalt blue race car. She laid her hands on the hood of the car and stared a hole through the windshield. This is his car? Yeah, I actually don't remember this either. We got a whole lot of, I feel like there's a lot of new CGs in this. This is Silva's car. The look on her face was filled with mixed emotions, rather. Oh no. I gripped her shoulders firmly and shook her out of her daze. Ash snapped out of it. Ashley blinked rather and took a step back. Her head was hanging low. Echo, this is a sign. It can't simply be a coincidence, can it? Her voice trailed off. It seems like we came to the same conclusion. It was entirely possible that Silva was also captured and made to play a killing game. But she would never want to hear that. Ashley. All these signs must be set up to get a rise out of you. Huh? Think about it. The mysterious group infiltrated the preservation project and kidnapped us. They must have known about your fight with Silva and are using it against you, using it to vex you, to motivate you into doing something horrible. They're playing mind games with you, Ashley. You don't have to worry about Silva. I told her these things, but that was a lie. Even so, I couldn't stand to see her in such despair. Ashley rubbed her eyes, and I saw her body relax. Yeah, you could be right. She sniffled out a voice of gratitude. Thanks, Echo. What are friends for but to lie to each other to keep their spirits high? I gave her a small hug. I'm gonna step out into the hall for a bit if you want to keep looking. Oh, okay. I won't be long then. Let Ashley gather her bearings outside as she was smurdering someone in the hallway. As I gave the garage a brief walkthrough. Unsurprisingly, I ain't find nothing. How unfortunate. Nothing of note. I left the garage just gruntled at the lack of clues for escape. Out in the main hall, I spotted Ashley in the midst of a conversation with Missy. Echo, you might want to hear this. Huh? What is it? As you know, I had a conversation with Cirrus. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Did you kill him? Not yet. But I'm glad to see that you're alright. Worry not. I'm here in one piece. I wanted to bring your attention to his strange behavior. You see, I tried to reason with him to talk to him from one person to another, but it was almost as if after he was exposed, he's been putting on a facade. I'm sorry it's difficult for me to explain this gut feeling I have about him, but I have my suspicions. Zero said the ultimate charisma wasn't the real Cirrus, but could it be the other way around? The other way around? What do you mean? I was thinking when Zero uncovered Cirrus's false talent, revealing his true identity, Cirrus's behavior became stilted and insincere. Perhaps charisma truly isn't his talent, but his behavior under that title seemed organic. My apologies, just thinking out loud. Oh, interesting. Huh. Although, to see for myself, I wanted to talk some sense to him, but he remained steadfast and stubbornly irksome. If he continues to behave strange, we might have another tragedy on our hands. I agree. I didn't want to be too hasty, but might I suggest we try and extract some information from him with force? With force? Mrs. expression sharpened and made, as she made a definitive decision. I could see her eyes glaring through a plan of action, rather. I will threaten him with the gun. Oh my gosh! I don't know. I feel like we can take it a step down, Missy. I feel like we can take it one step down. Make no mistake, I have absolutely no intention of firing it, but Sirius doesn't need to know that. In that case, let me help you. I'll get the rope from the climbing center to bind him just in case he thinks of doing something funny. Excellent. I was shocked, but Ashley and Missy were both in agreement. Ashley, quick, let's make preparations and rendezvous here promptly. We mustn't waste any time with Sirius roaming around freely. Ashley nodded. Well then. Goodness gracious. Three of us sped down the stairs and split up at the second floor landing. Missy continued further down. Ashley and I took a sharp turn towards the climbing center. I was struggling to keep up, but eventually closed the distance between us as she dug through the lockers in search of rope. Isn't this too extreme, y'all? Team extreme? No. Wrong Fangan. Wrong Fangan. We can't go team extreme again. Look, it looks harsh, but it's necessary to prevent further killing. But, pardon me, the last thing I would want, my water's over there, is to not to keep an eye on Cyrus, rather than have you get killed, Echo. Not a single soul is exempt from death. There's no gray area about it. I understand that, but... Bang. Uh-oh. Before I could finish my thought, a shot was heard ringing through the air. The shot sounded like it came from above. Missy, she must have encountered Cyrus before us. Ashley wrapped a bundle of rope around her forearm, grabbed my hand once more, and darted up the stairs toward the third floor. She stopped me at the foot of the stairs and cautiously looked around the corner and at the main hallway. A second bang! Sound of another shot exploded through the air. It sounded like it came from the smoking lounge. What was going on? Before I realized what was happening, I felt my body move on its own. Ashley had thrown the art gallery's doors open and forced me in. Ash, what on earth are you doing? She slammed the doors between us as I stumbled in. Echo, take cover here and don't move a muscle till I get back. She commanded me from the other side. Once you reach the other side. I feel like every Fangan, to be successful on this series, has to have the other side as somewhere in the dialogue. Now, I think that's a pretty simple requirement. Because I feel like that comes up a lot in regular, conversation or regular story writing, not for nothing. In my state of dishevelment, I stayed put, not knowing what else to do. Her footsteps softened as she put further and further distance between us. Missy? Slam. And welcome to the jail! Bang! Well, that bang was pink, so that didn't sound good. I was shaking. I hurtled towards the door, but I couldn't help but fear the worst, attempting to pry the doors open, but... Clatter, clatter. But the doors wouldn't budge. Upon closer inspection, the door had no keyhole or latch that would keep them locked. Huh? Locked how? She tied the rope around the door, boy. I looked hastily around for something to help me get out. Oh yeah, the garage is connected to the art gallery. I can leave through there. I ran through the double doors to the art gallery and tugged. Clatter, clatter. But the doors were similarly blocked. Well, I don't know why those ones are blocked. Looking again, these double doors had nothing to prevent them from being opened. Somehow, both sets of double doors had been blocked. No way. How could this be happening? So there were 3 bangs. I gasped, collapsing to the ground at this inexplicable situation I found myself in. Missy. It's possible Missy was out there with a gun. Bang! Confronting Ashley, I felt a cold sweat forming on my face. Missy, you asked us to trust you. I couldn't believe how stupid I was for believing in trust. I should have picked up the gun when it was in the foyer. Trust. Footsteps. I heard footsteps from the main hall side of the doors. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around the building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can to get us out of here, unlike the rest of you. And what were you doing poking around in one of the third floor personal rooms? Anyway, how'd you even get in there? That's a good question. That is none of your business. Voices. I heard faint voices from the main hall side of the art gallery. I sprung up from the floor rather and banged on the door from inside the art gallery. Hey, whoever's out there, let me out! I hammered the door until my fist fell through the air. Echo! Echo! Thank you, Say. Well, maybe Say was the one who was in the rooms. Also very neat that she's got the rope. Say was on the other side of the door, holding a bundle of rope. There's no time to explain. I was falling all over myself, running towards it. Did no one hear the gunshots? Maybe they were in soundproof rooms, actually. Running towards the sounds of the shots. Everything was a blur as I darted across the hall to the smoke lounge and threw the door open. Yeet! Uh-oh. That looks bad. That looks real bad. Oh, that's not good. Well, he looks dead. Cyrus's body was lying face up, blood staining rather his torso and his hands. And held sharply and trembled at the sight. Say shook out a small startled response before disappearing from the smoke lounge entirely. I stood rooted in place, fear and confusion paralyzing me. The smoke lounge was a complete state of chaos with Cyrus's bloody body drawing my gaze. Furniture was strewn about. Glass cabinets were shattered, and fabric sprinkled the messy floor. My head stung. The miasma of alcohol rushed through my senses, mixed with the thick odor of smoke and metallic scent of blood, creating an awful nausea-inducing headache. Well, that door over there is open and has like a bloody print on it. The double doors that connected the smoke lounge to the casino was ajar. Morbid curiosity rather took hold. I cautiously approached the slight opening. I pushed slowly and... Oh no. Another one! Horse girl! Ashley's body was strewn on the floor, blood staining her hands. All my instincts escaped me and my mind went completely blank. White noise filled my thoughts. I crumpled to the floor beside her. My hands wouldn't go near Ashley's body. A slam intruded my daze. Kana and Forte closed in on Ashley's body and were voicing their concern, but I heard nothing. My senses were scrambled. The only thing I heard above the murmur of their voices was... What is it? The eerie chime indicating that... A body has been discovered in the smoke lounge. You will be granted a period of investigation and then we will begin our class trial. Please accept this general gift of a special report called the Monokuma File. It will be printed from the digital kiosk and outlines the details of our poor lost friend. Your lives depend on solving this case, so get a crack on. Well, he only said the smoke lounge, so that means she's either not dead or something. I can feel my whole body shaking. I couldn't take my eyes off of Ashley's body. The body discovery announcement. Ashley's body. Did that mean... I heard footsteps approach from behind. Missy crouched down beside me and rested her hand on my back, lightly shaking me. Echo, Echo! I couldn't respond. I just sat on the floor staring. Missy reached past me and towards Ashley's body. Missy, could it be? Life slowly moved in slow motion as I tried to connect what I heard outside the gallery to the horrible scent at hand. Scene at hand, not scent. It was horrible scent, too. Missy carefully moved Ashley's hair and gently placed 2 fingers to the side of her neck. Missy, don't you dare touch her. She's alive. Huh? You didn't check, Echo? Well, I guess your hands wouldn't go near her. My heart was pumping as I felt new life breathe into me as I processed the revelation. Look, her bracelet isn't neon pink. It's just stained in blood. Her pulse is extremely weak, but Ashley is alive nonetheless. Isn't there an infirmary somewhere? She needs attention quickly. I'll check the casino kiosk for a map. I was gonna say, I don't think we had an infirmary anywhere on the maps. Kanan swiftly left as the rest of us gazed in astonishment. My stare remained on Ashley's bracelet. Missy was right. It remained the same light rose gold color as mine, unlike when Pandora's turned neon pink. Even if that was the case, what was wrong with her? I've searched for an infirmary on the kiosk, but it only displayed the floors we've been to. Then, does that mean there isn't one? No, there is an infirmary, but the infirmary is connected to the courtroom. my body, my Bugatti kicked into action. Vroom vroom. I snuck into the garage and got in that Bugatti, and I drove the car right through the casino into the courtroom. Unfortunately, it was still closed, so I climbed back up to the hole in the floor I created and said, dang, we got to start the trial so I can get into the infirmary. I slammed the buttons. Echo. I need to get her out here. I need to take me to the courtroom. Let me in, let me in. I shouted at nothing as the elevator doors refused to open. I continued to hit the buttons fruitlessly. Echo, please. I know it'll be difficult, but it seems we must investigate in order to gain access to the courtroom. Missy had followed me all the way out here. We wouldn't want to enter the trial without preparing ourselves. Therefore, we must work quickly if we are going to bring Ashley back. Please. I slammed my forehead against the elevator in defeat. Damn it. Ashley. I let an immense heavy sigh. My chest heaved as I felt my breath escape in shaky, broken pieces. I'll do whatever it takes. And I don't know the rest of the words of that song. Hey, serious, it's a shame that you died. I kind of loved your design, for real, for real. I think you might have been my favorite design-wise. Maybe, maybe not. There's a couple other characters. Like, I like Say's attire, not for nothing. I dragged my feet as Missy and I made our way to the crime scene. We're doing this again. This horrible, horrible thing. Searching for the culprit behind this sickening scene, only to put them on the chopping block for the game to continue anew afterwards. The cycle was torturous. Ugh. Despite that, Ashley was alive. I tried to clear my head. Yes, Ashley was hanging on by a thread, but she was alive regardless. I need to figure out who did this. Someone took Cyrus's life and threatened Ashley, so there's no gray area about it. Classic. And that, my friends, is the end of Chapter 2 Daily Life. And don't worry, we better play Chapter 2 Regular Life, but I want to get my candle. Cause, you know, it gonna smell real good, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's a smell good recording now. Hey, Cyrus, you stay right there. You stay right there. I'm gonna go get this candle real quick. Hold on, real quick, Cyrus. Alright, Cyrus, hold on. I know this room stank, don't it? It's got all this alcohol. Look at this. Look at all them layers. Oh my. Oh boy, man, it smell like olive in that candle, I'll tell you what. Cyrus, I'm gonna light this candle for you, my boy. I know there's a whole lot of alcohol and blood and smoke smell in there, but let me just do this one for you, Cyrus. Oh yeah. First time late. Oh yeah, Cyrus, this one's for you, my guy. We're not gonna light both. We don't want it to burn too quick. Oh man. Hickory apple. Hickory apple and golden hay. Very fall, very autumn time scent. Whoo boy. Oh, yeah, I'm here for that. All right, okay, I'm good now. I'm just, yeah. Every time, you know, sometimes you get a new candle, it's just like, oh man, I can't wait, dude. Like that's the first time I lit this candle. Yeah, I'm very excited. All right, man. I'm just look. It's fall. It's autumn time, baby. Let's do this. All right. Forte propped open the double doors and kept the smoke lounge and the casino separated so we can move between them freely. In the smoke lounge, Lyle stood, looming over Cyrus's body as Say was in the smoke lounge as well, gazing at the body from a distance. In the casino, Forte put Ashley in the recovery position and was monitoring her. Kanan was standing between the doors, or rather the rooms, glaring at the trail of debris. Missy went to investigate the smoke lounge as I was left to look on my own. With a candle by my side, let's take a look at this body real quick. Got a couple hands. The gun was found in front of Cyrus's chest and center. Gun wound. Was front and center in Cyrus's chest. Blood was soaked through his shirt, and the deep pigment inundated the cloth and oozed onto the carpet. The gun wound was very clearly the cause of his death. But my eyes were more curiously drawn to Cyrus's bloodstains on his hands. Cyrus could have only come from one source, the wound. He must have tried to stop in vain to stop the gun wound from bleeding out. I trembled at the thought of what a futile act that would have been. I mean, I don't know if I believe that. This kiosk. has some bloodstained hands on it. The kiosk has been knocked over. There's a faint streak of blood on the screen. It appears to be broken. How do you figure? I'm just taking a shot in the dark, but I don't think the Monokuma file was printed from the casino kiosk because this one, I'm sorry, it was printed from there because this one wasn't operational. Kanon has the victim report if you want to take a look at it. Probably some technology involving proximity or some such, but I can't really say since that sort of thing is out of my depth. I wonder if the kiosk being knocked over has anything to do specifically with what happened here. I can't say. The streaks of blood imply there may have been interacted with, but to what extent is beyond me. The kiosk being knocked over may just have been a casualty during whatever struggle occurred here, but the streak bothered me. Me too, Echo. Me too, Mr. Pine. No, I don't want to go to the casino. I want to look at this glass. Probably should look at the gun that's right there, but you know. And whatever this is, but we'll continue. Broken Glass. There was a song from, like, Victorious that was called Broken Glass, I think. Robbie did it. It's fun to run, it's fun to play, it's fun to make things out of clay, it's fun to fill your car with gas, it's fun to break things made of glass. There's a lot of song lyrics in my brain. From old TV shows. Hey, there's a lot of broken glass and torn fabric everywhere. A struggle occurred here, that's for sure. It took place before Cyrus fell. The display case must have broken during the altercation, and he was killed sometime after, falling atop the refuse. That makes sense. It seems like the only way the room could have gotten so messy. Well, of course. No one's going to be cautious about their surroundings when their life is on the line. I mean, I would if I'm trying to get away with it. What's a fuel canister? The heck? An overturned gas canister almost empty. Ew, it smells in here. Yeah, the smoke lounge rather wasn't really a pleasant place to begin with, but this. What do you mean? Well, when Ash and I visited the smoke lounge for the first time, the air was heavy with cigar smoke, I'm assuming. So to see the liquor and the gasoline spilled over in this place adding to the smell, it's not really helping much, I'll say that. I see. I didn't visit this place beforehand, so I can't really say, but I'll take your word for it. But gasoline seems so out of place here, doesn't it? Yeah. I wonder if it came from the garage. I would think so. I would hope so. The gun. The gun. Missy's revolver, the weapon that took Cyrus's life. The gun handle was covered in blood. 4 shots were fired, leaving 1 bullet. So there was an actual 4th bang. Wait, but I thought that 4th bang was just us, like, thinking about that. Well, maybe not. Quite a few people knew about the gun, so it might be difficult to determine who went to retrieve it. I was curious if that, like, blood, like, oh, blowtorch. Oh, I thought that was another bottle. It's a blowtorch. Were you trying to blow something up, dude? Gasoline and fire. So that's what he was getting from the kitchen earlier. Huh? What are you talking about? You recall that I crossed paths with Cyrus early in the morning? A bit before I started testing the rules by destroying the ovens. It was a brief meeting, but I was curious to see why he was in there as well. He must have smuggled the butane torch out. He didn't say anything? Why should I have? I mean, you could have stopped him far in advance from whatever he was going to do with it. He's dead, and he clearly didn't get the chance to do it anyway. Lyle! If the blowtorch went off, the whole room would have gone up in flames considering the amount of alcohol that spilled over the floor, and the gasoline container? I guess he could have also been bringing some sort of something in with that container instead of it actually being gasoline. That looks like it's everything in this room. Nothing. That's how you go to the smoke lounge. There's Ashley's body. Ash, just hang in there. Hey, hands. Just hands. Just hands. Hands! Ashley's hands were covered in blood. She didn't appear to have any sort of wounds, so the blood on her hands could have potentially come from only one place. Did Ashley try to prevent Cyrus's death? If that were the case, whoever shot Cyrus could be the same person who took Ashley out so they wouldn't reveal the assailant. Alright, well, I think we're done with clicking things, so let's go ahead and discuss. With the only 2 people we have in here, I guess everyone else is in the other room. Hey, give me the Monokuma file. I approached Kanon as she overlooked the 2 scenes from the doorway opening between the rooms. You're probably wondering where I was. Hi, that's me. You're probably wondering, where was I this afternoon after we departed the search on the 3rd floor? I was with 14 in the garage for a large portion of the afternoon, as well as during the duration of the 4 shots being fired. He can vouch for my alibi. You and Ashley came upstairs after us, right? You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, actually. If I also heard 4 shots being fired, I don't think I would leave where I am either. I would feel like I would try to hide. Yeah, I think I can understand why everyone didn't come rushing to the sound of gunshots. Actually, you know what I mean? Saying it out loud, you know, I think... Oh, yeah, that's a good candle. I think I kind of agree now what is going on. Yeah, didn't you two, didn't run into you two at all, though, rather. We took most of our time in the garage. It seemed to have been the most potential for something useful out of the 4 rooms. Kanan silently surveyed the state of Ashley's body, then came across, across the doorway out there. Didn't someone lean her up in like a to recover or something? Well, whatever. Across the doorway at Cyrus's distant figure. Oh, here's the Monokuma file. I got it from the casino kiosk. He got shot in the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. Boom, boom. Victim report: Cyrus Sirik. Ultimate student victim report. Cause of death: the victim's body was discovered in the 3rd floor smoke lounge. The victim was fatally shot above the heart. Estimated time of death is 12:03. Like Pandora's file, this is just as purposeless as in telling us what happened to Cyrus. As for Ashley, I can't say. Do you think she might have been attacked, like hit over the head or something? I guess it's not impossible. She's pretty tall considering. It would be hard to say she was attacked, what she was attacked with though. There's nothing on the casino side of the doors that could be used as a weapon. Our discussion fell flat. You seem a little more open today. Forte and I had a small parley in the garage. He told me I shouldn't try to forego attempts to escape this game. She grumbled under her breath and exhaled sharply. Despite Kanon's frustration, she ended up providing some more open conversation today, likely a result of wishing to avoid being caught in the same voiceless situation she was during yesterday's trial. Forte, what's good, my guy? My dude? Got several notifications just now. The scene is quite unruly. I'm uncertain whether it will be more or less difficult to determine the culprit in this scenario, considering the many questionable items lying around. Yeah, as opposed to what happened to Pandora, that is a bit jarring. Where were you, though? I remember seeing you go to the garage with Kanan earlier when we paired off in search of the 3rd floor. Yes, that is precisely why we ended up here. Huh? The 2 of us were investigating the garage as thoroughly as possible, but found nothing of note. We then went outside to investigate the other personal rooms at the end of the 3rd floor, living quarters. But as you might have figured out already, these personal rooms are locked. Chez Picato. Huh? I heard him mutter something under his breath as he grazed at the blue butterfly pin on his scarf, but I couldn't understand what he said, or what was said rather. Where was I? Kanan and I, someone told me what that means actually, I don't know. I have no idea. Then heard the first shot of 4 rather. We rushed into the garage and the barricaded door, we rushed into the garage and barricaded the doors from the inside. Oh, what? You rushed into the garage and barricaded the doors from the inside. You barricaded the doors? We thought it would be the best course of action to protect ourselves. Neither of us had the gun, so it had to be someone else. A reasonable conclusion, is it not? At that first shot, and through to the 4th, we hid away in the garage until we heard a commotion. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, because those are connected to the double doors. So they barricaded the garage doors. Ashley barricaded the other side of the art gallery. I thought he actually went through the garage and the garage doors on the other side were shut. But now that makes a lot of sense. I'm here with it. We hid in the garage until we heard a commotion in the 3rd floor halls. It's quite frightening hearing all 4 of those shots in such a close vicinity. Never thought we could come across such a gruesome scene. Forte sighed and mournfully looked at Ashley. So Forte and Kanan blocked the doors. That explains why the garage double door side wouldn't open. Alright, let's back out of... Nope. I mean, we can save. Then let's back out of this. Head back over here. Get a little discussion here. We'll save Missy for last. Lyle looked particularly aggravated, as he has been ever since Art died. This place is a mess. There's no mistaking the fact that a struggle occurred here. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, looks like that. Yep. It's a shame I wasn't closer when this took place. Even after I swept the 3rd floor early this morning, I managed to miss something as big as this. Call it bad timing. About that. Where were you this afternoon after the fact? Huh? Are you suspecting me? Well, no. It would just help to know where you were so we can say that you're in the clear. I was with Say. Say? But didn't she keep herself locked in her room all day? Beats me. All I know is after I heard the second gunshot from somewhere upstairs, I saw Say poke her head out of her room. I dragged her out for my safety, Lamal, and hauled her around with me to find where the shots were coming from. We were on the 2nd floor by the time a 3rd shot went off. So you two can vouch for each other's whereabouts. Yeah, whatever. Nothing. That leaves literally 3 people. So Lyle has an alibi that can be verified by Say. I should talk to Say to see if their stories match up. What puzzles me the most is where did a gun even come from? Well, I don't expect you to believe me, but it was in Missy's possession rather. She brought it out to boldly state that she would not be firing it. She even recommended we travel in groups in case something else happens, or something bad happens rather. So even by the off chance someone did fire it, we'd be in groups to be able to witness alongside our partner. Lyle was astonished. Really? What kind of tactician would reveal their hand like that? I mean, it was a symbol of trust in a way. I'm certainly not going to use it to cause harm, and I really don't think Missy would. That aside, it almost seems like she was micromanaging everyone's expectations and locations by doing so. Lyle just scoffed and continued to loom over Cyrus's body. Well, on to you. Oh, Echo. Oh. Say's hands were trembling, poor girl. I'm so sorry about Ashley. Oh, she cares. It's scary, but I'm trying to pull through. It's a relief to see her still breathing, but I need to find out who would have such ill will towards her. That's very noble. If there's anything I can do to help you with, let me know. Actually, yeah, there is. What is it? I was just saying that, so please don't let it be anything too taxing on my mental health. I was stuck in the art gallery when the crime was going on across the hall. I couldn't open the doors whatsoever. I heard some footsteps and voices after some time, so I banged on the main hall's doors. That's right. You were the first person I saw. Do you know why the doors were blocked? Yeah. The double doors handles were bound together with some rope. I'm guessing it was from the climbing center. So when I heard your voice from inside, I unbound the rope and you came running out. She demonstrated how she found the rope by replicating the state on the smoke lounge doors. Yeah, that makes sense. Rope? I went with Ashley to the climbing center as she got rope to bind Cyrus. Did the culprit steal it from her and then instead bind the doors to lock me in at the art gallery? Bro, she probably locked you in to keep you safe, broski. That's strange. I was also wondering where you were this afternoon. I know Missy tried to call out to you this morning, but you declined. Say's worried brow furrowed deeper. Well, I just thought after the events of yesterday, if someone was going to kill me, it doesn't matter what I do. What was she saying? And what I wanted to do was stay in my room. The killer rather could break down my door or whatever, but if it was going to happen, fate would find a way, so be it. You okay? You need a Tic Tac or a Snickers? You know, after I heard the second gunshot ringing out, I peeked out of curiosity. Who even had a gun in the first place? But it was pointless. Lyle had to drag me out and run me all over 3 floors just to find a bunch of nothing. Say mumbled a train of thoughts to herself, but it didn't seem like she wanted an answer for her ponderings. I see. Well, thanks, Say. Say seemed to possess a haphazard reaction to the events. However, Lyle confirmed that he and Say were together when they heard the gunshots, and neither of them were even aware someone had a gun in the first place. 4 gunshots. Missy, where were you? So 4 shots were fired. 4 out of 5 of the existing bullets in that gun's chamber. So there was there were 4 shots fired. You know what I mean? I'm assuming one went into him, I mean, we should just have locations. Anywho, 4 shots. I notice, however, there are 3 holes in the wall of the smoke lounge. Then those 3 weren't the ones that killed Cyrus. Yes. 1 bullet is lodged in his chest. So the problem is finding out in what order these shots were fired, which one was the one that killed him. Missy furrowed her brow. Echo? Her voice was a hushed whisper. I sincerely hope that this hasn't tarnished your view of me. Huh? It's very clear that this crime has my name written all over it. I was the one who revealed the gun to be in my possession, I was the one who left it out in the open, and I have no partner to support my whereabouts during the crime. And despite that, I cannot tell you my alibi. Huh? Why not? Missy, what would you have me think after you just said all that? Please, sit. Trust me. I don't know if I can. She sighed. I cannot argue with that. We'll just have to let the trial discussion command your judgment. I must try to procure a compelling enough argument. Missy? Miss Ma'am? What have I not clicked? Oh no. It's that magical time where I look around, throw my mouse everywhere because I have not clicked something. Okay, so all of that is go to casino. There looks like, actually, I could still select Ashley's body, so there was something else on Ashley's body. Oh, hand question mark. Gosh darn it, Ashley. Open your dang hand. What? What the heck? Echo, hand question mark. Huh? Echo, what the heck? Is there anything else on Ashley's body? Why hand question mark? Okay, well, whatever. Is that gonna take me out now? There's something else in here? I can't look at her body anymore, so yeah, I'm missing something else. Huh? I've discussed with all of y'all. Hit. Or are they gonna have me... Oh, continue. It's right there. Never mind. We can go. I was like, where do I need to go now? It's the continue button. That's where I need to go. She got something in her hand. And he just said question mark to it. Let out a deep sigh. Conducting an investigation was harrowing. I was exhausted beyond belief. Our group was already so small, yet given everyone's paired alibis, it became difficult to say who was behind this crime. It was difficult to say, barring one person. What was Missy thinking? Has she been lying to us this whole time? No. I couldn't jump to conclusions so quickly. Wouldn't be fair to Missy. Regardless, I had a bad feeling about all of this. Okie dokie, you know what time it is? It's adventure time! No, it's not. Oh, what other times are there? It's taco time! Taco Tuesday. It's taco, no, not taco time either. Oh, I guess it's time for a class trial then! I hope you have enough ammunition rather to shoot down the culprit. If not, I guess you're out of luck. The elevator will take you down to the courtroom once everyone is boarded, so make it snappy. Timer for your bracelets is to release toxic gas set for 10 minutes after this announcement ends Don't drag your feet. I rubbed my forehead in distress. The vicious cycle, we couldn't see the end to continue. We couldn't see the end to continued once more. Why? Why you do this? Hey Ash, how you doing? I went over to Ash and sat down beside her. I gently placed 2 fingers at her wrist and felt the faint pulse. It was such an eerie feeling, knowing Ashley was alive but so close to death. Forte laid his hand on my shoulder. Echo, we really ought to get going, lest we find ourselves in danger from Zero's capricious. For Zero do his very dangerous things. Sniff. Yeah, you're right. Forte, would you mind? Not at all. Forte lifted Ashley from the knee with ease, carrying her to the elevator. So Forte's just that guy. Forte's built for tough. You know what? He's built Forte tough. That's my dude. I followed behind him, trying to keep a close distance to Ashley. And you know, he's built like that. Once again, our group apprehensively sauntered into the elevator. We're back. Our community had shrunk by 3, yet in the elevator cab we were divided further. Lyle and Say, Conan and Forte, with Ashley in arms, myself and Missy. Distrust hacked away whatever threadbare remaining connection we had. But this time, damning signs pointed at one person in particular, Missy Vesper. Missy provided nothing to disprove these signs. Cyrus rather, had been removed from the picture. Ashley was at the cusp of the following. I was confused and hurt and alone. What was I going to do during this trial? I don't know. Doors opened up and revealed the circular room once more. I rushed in and raised my voice, calling at the expansive nothingness in the room. Zero, Eve, we know there's an infirmary connected to the courtroom, so please help Ashley. With a flash, a symbol of the other announcer, Eve, appeared. Echo, there is a cross button in the infirmary, for the infirmary in the elevator. The doors will open on the opposite side of the courtroom, leading you to the infirmary. I turned around, and the courtroom side of the elevator opened, and I hopped in the thing and could press the cross button, and then the elevator, and then the Forte carried Ashley in, and gently laid her on the infirmary bed. I stepped aside and clambered to the bedside. Oh, interesting. It's got like a pod. Ash, please be okay. It was impossible to tell if she was breathing. Every inhale and exhale was so small and weathered. A glass encasing lowered to protect, to cover Ashley and protect, and monitor. Oh, you guys can't actually see the monitors up here. She's got a 45. A 90, a 67, 54, and a 4. Hike! Yeah, the 45 is her beats per minute, which is crazy low, dude. I will do my best to monitor her. Please leave your worries at the door. There is a greater matter at hand awaiting you. Yes. Echo, we need to begin the class trial. Her health is out of our hands. We can only do so much. The best thing we can do now is find the culprit. Our discussion will reveal what occurred. Yeah. I steadily stepped back. Ashley, I'll figure out what happened to you. I swear on my life, I'll find the culprit. It's so kind of crazy that we're getting close to the point where we're completely blind again. I really enjoyed replaying this, actually, not for nothing. 410 I left the infirmary, crossing through the heavy doors that connected the infirmary to the trial grounds. Heavy clouds hung over the dome ceiling. Everyone was already in their places, and 410 and I crept into ours. Another murder. It was unreal, like the engine. Cyrus, Cyric. A mild and assuming demeanor made a 180 when his talent of ultimate charisma was revealed to be a ruse. He quickly suffered the consequences, and his sudden aggressive temperament coming to a full stop out of nowhere. And Ashley's worrying condition. What could have possibly happened in the 2 rooms when we found them? She could have, like, some sort of smoke inhalation or poisoning, smoke poisoning. There was gasoline in that room. There's a couple things that she might be blackout drunk. That's not the case. Well, I mean, maybe. However, despite the behavior Cyrus displayed, or Cyrus, I guess it's either or. I think I know of a Cyrus. Anywho, it was still shocking that someone would actually retaliate. Somehow it felt like a hasty overreaction, but then again, hasty reaction was essentially what pushed Art to bring Pandora's demise. It was difficult to call Art the culprit after the lack of black and white intentions. But now, me, Pandora. In the grand scheme of things, the rules of society were set to deliver retribution to those who commit crimes. These are their stories. Dung dung. And now I'm Ashley. Well, actually, her hand is like... who's to say that this place operated under the same conditions? The courtroom was eerily silent as we waited for Zero to appear. The atmosphere was justifiably tense. Say and Lyle shared a similar dark vibe. Kanan and Forte both looked unnerved. And Missy managed to put up a poker face on her poker face, despite the situation. Yeesh, it's about time you guys got here. Again, I have to say it, it's so weird how quiet you bunch are. Is no one amped up for another class trial? I put a lot of work into these, you know? Of course we're not excited, you knave. Hey, Missy is so mean. It's a shame no one's excited, but this ball's gonna keep rolling whether you like it or not. All rise for the class. Okay, let me stand up real quick. No, thank you. I'm already sitting. Let's go over the rules again, shall we? You're all on the class trial to figure out who the culprit of this heinous crime is. The rules are as follows. Discover and determine who the culprit is amongst your group. A majority vote will happen, and we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, one of few outcomes will occur. Vote incorrectly, and the entire class will be executed, with the culprit alone being able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That is the ideal end game for the culprit. Determine and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. Whew, you might just live rather to see another day. Our victim today is Cyrus Syric, the ultimate charisma. More like the ultimate nonsense. Was no suspicion. No one was no one suspicion. Suspicion rather of his name and talent. I would be in. I mean, his name was just his name forwards and backwards. That was, you know, who would do that? It really shouldn't be a surprise that anyone that charisma was not really his talent. Regardless, I called out his drivel last night, and look at where we are now. He's dead the next day. You all really were quick to take what I said to heart, huh? Oh, that candle is. Oh. Hello, candle, my new friend. You bring autumn to life again. Well, I'm glad. Saves you from having to get a motive set up and all that. Yeah, I guess they didn't really have a motive this time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, someone just sort of said, hey, let's get to stabbing and shooting. So without further ado, discuss away. Don't mind if I do. Lyle. Missy. You think, you know what I'm going to say, huh? Then say it for yourself. You think I'm the suspect. Ooh, gold star. The point is moot, I'm not the culprit, and that's all I'll say on the matter. And why do you expect me to just roll with that? Because if you all vote incorrectly, then we'll all be in danger. Prove my innocence or take my word for it. That's kind of crazy. Actually, that's kind of goated, not for nothing. Missy, what's going on with you? Don't you think it's a bit too much to ask, given the circumstance? I have my convictions. I'm refusing to share my alibi for my own reasons. And yet you don't fear the consequences? You're ridiculous. I'll lay it out all nice for you, okay? And then we can discuss whether or not you're holding your tongue is the wisest thing to do in this scenario. Consider the facts. You were not partnered with anyone, you refused to share an alibi, and you were the only one who had the gun in the first place. Do you know what the victim was killed with this time? What killed the victim this time? A gunshot. You likely proposed traveling in groups so you could operate on your own. Isn't that all too damning not to be true? Despite her dangerously challenging Lyle, I held my belief in Missy steadfast, really. Trust? That's crazy. You were all like, pshaw, trust? Screw that. I wanted, in all sincerity, rather, to trust everyone involved in this horrible game. But considering 2 people had been murdered, 1 executed and 1 attacked, it was, 2 people had been murdered, 1 executed, 1 attacked, that is correct. It was becoming difficult to justify my stance. I didn't understand, what was there for Missy to hide? You know what, just forget it. I'm taking charge of this discussion. Once again, I can rely only on myself. Echo, you're a walking record of events. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why I shouldn't rather think that Missy was alone during the crime. Walking record? I'm not some kind of walking encyclopedia of evidence. Or Kanon, if you have some sort of weird photo, fess up. Echo or Kanon, I don't care. One of you ought to pipe up with something we can work with. It can't be possible that neither of you two saw anything. I mean, he's kind of right. We were both around the scene, and we are both the ones. You know what I mean? Lyle has his sights set on getting something out of me and Kanon, but as far as I know, neither of us could have seen anything. But we heard things. Shut up, Lyle. I have no photograph of the sort. But when we arrived on the 3rd floor, we didn't see anyone in the halls. I was in the garage with Forte for the majority of the afternoon. Yes, and as soon as we heard the first gunshot, I suggested we retreat to the garage. and block the entryway from the two doors, the main hall, door, and the art gallery. As for me, after 2 shots were fired, I found myself stuck in the art gallery. The 3rd floor, it's kind of neat seeing, like, the character that you're playing as actually be in the discussion instead of just, like contributing to the discussion rather than just saying, no, that's wrong, you know what I mean? I kind of like that a lot. The 3rd floor activity rooms can't be locked. Kanan and Forte blocked the garage side doors. And then the main doors were just inexplicably locked? Well, it's not inexplicably, we have an answer. Hold on. Can you recall what happened when we met earlier before we discovered Cyrus's body, that is? When we met, you came tumbling out of the art gallery when Lyle and I arrived on the 3rd floor. Yes, but I couldn't leave the room from inside. Oh, yeah. Lyle, when we arrived on the 3rd floor, there was banging coming from the gallery. I couldn't check to see who or what was inside until I unwound the rope that bound the double doors together. Confluence! Discussion. Progress! See, Lyle, there's no way that either Canon or I saw anything that happened during the crime. If anything, Say and Lyle's whereabouts ought to be grilled as well, since they could have more questionable actions than us. That's right. Say, Missy, and you were alone in your Missy said you were alone in your personal room for a portion of the morning. Yes, she declined an invitation to my morning announcement. My morning announcement! Fight for the good of humanity. Yeah. But after I heard the 2 shots, I poked my head out. Only to get dragged to my room by Lyle. I was investigating the mansion. I figured if anything fishy was going on, I'd have a witness to back up my testimony. And while nothing happened in particular, at least I had Say there to support my alibi during the gunshots. Yet, despite that, you were acting suspiciously this morning, smashing the ovens and all that. Lyle, don't you think you yourself warrant an explanation for what you were doing? Huh? I don't need to justify anything I'm doing. I'm the freaking ultimate puzzle master, put in this evil game to solve it inside and out. And if you have faith in your ultimate talents, you will have faith in mine and my goals as well. If I don't break the rules, it's all part of the plan. I'll avenge Art, I'll stop the killings, and I'll solve this killing game on my own, come hell or high water. Well, here's the problem. You stopping these killings so far, after Artist died, you were so far 0-1. So, shoot. But didn't it occur to you that I'm on the same agenda? What? There aren't any stakes for you, Missy. Art was the only person I've encountered that made my whole talent worthwhile. I can only trust myself. I'll work alone until I can grasp a solution rather with my own hands. Only then will it be real. Everyone involved, you're all just pieces to this puzzle. Whew. What is this guy even saying, man? You're an oddball, Lyle. But thanks for reminding me. Reminding you of what? I don't have much power outside the courtroom, believe it or not. Eve mostly controls and monitors all that outside boring stuff. But I knew you'd all eventually end up back here soon enough, so I just had to wait. Well, wait. What? Oh my gosh, what was that? With a snap, the trial wall slammed open to reveal a large metal hexagon adorned with a crude-looking M. Wait a minute. Are y'all telling me the Monokuma eye is supposed to be an M? I just thought it was a logo. Oh my god. Yo, my whole world's been flipped upside down. Yeah, I guess it is a kind of M from Monokuma. Huh. Well, I thought he just had a real crazy looking eye. Oh my gosh. Lyle crumpled to the floor as we all backed away, astonished at whatever invisible pain was inflicted upon him. It's a sonic weapon, high-powered sound waves from me personally to Lyle. This is what you get for fiddling with my door trap. Oh, this is consequences of his actions. I think Lyle's brain has been fried enough. There's no fun or suspense to be had in killing you myself unless I'm executing a culprit. Don't mess with my stuff. Somehow Lyle remains strong. Please, we must move the discussion along. Unless we face a similar dangerous fate, we need to shut it, Missy. Because we're here because of you. Lyle was livid, fighting back against the collapsing by sheer force of will. I'm taking control of the discussion this time. Echo, I need to recall as much information as you can about the murder weapon, the gun. What, who do you think I am demanding such? You're the ultimate memory, my dude. I am Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master. Need I say again? I'll solve this case like I've solved all the puzzles that have come my way. Your memories are a tool for solving this, and I'll be damned if I don't use something as instrumental as that. Get to it, Echo, I don't have all day. Alright, I'll try to relay what happened to you all. Lyle might have it out for Missy, but going over the timeline could help us put her in the clear. I think it would be best to start from when the murder weapon was revealed. Maybe then we can trace who had it in the final moments. Who was originally in possession of the gun? No, yeah. Missy Vesper was the original one who had the gun, and it was revealed this morning. She woke up in her personal room with the gun given to her as a test to see whether she belonged with the preservation project or not. Missy called out some of the people to discuss possessing the gun. Who were the students in the group? Forte was there, Ashley was there, Missy was there, Kanan was there. That's correct, Lyle was not there. Missy assembled a small group of people for the meeting. There, she brought the existence of the weapon to our attention and discussed her intentions with the gun. She would not cause any harm with it. The group consisted of Forte, Ashley, Missy, Kanan as well. Everyone at the morning meeting agreed to place an implicit trust in our peers. Missy left the gun in the smoke room. No. In the foyer. Yes. In her room. No. The foyer. After the meeting, Missy left the gun on her the main foyer table wrapped in a cloth that she'd been carrying it in. After discussing the existence of such a weapon, something happened. Lyle was destroying the kitchen. So Say was poking around the pantry. Wrong. Kanan was photographing plants. No. Lyle, you were in the kitchen smashing. You were the smashing machine. We discussed the existence of the gun, among the other things, until we were interrupted by a loud sound coming from the kitchen. Our whole group went to see what was going on, rather. There we found Lyle destroying the kitchen oven as a means of testing the rules. Lyle announced that he would solve his killing game and went to the not to his room. I don't think he said the jazz club. I think he said the 3rd floor. Lyle said he would solve the killing game by absconding the 3rd floor to look for more clues, all while clutching the secret note from yesterday. He left the kitchen and took the elevator up. The rest of us remained in the foyer. Shortly after, Sirius appeared at the top of the floor, the 2nd floor stairs, causing someone to act. It was Missy. She said, "Get into the jazz club, you dummy." Shortly after, Lyle departed for the 3rd floor. Cyrus made an appearance at the top of the 2nd floor stairs. Missy went up to confront Cyrus by having a conversation with him in the jazz club. The rest of us went to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. I believe it's worth mentioning that Kanan and Forte went up first, with me and Ashley following afterwards. None of us took the gun. From the looks of it, Missy and Cyrus's conversation in the jazz room is a gray area that none of us were privy to. Care to explain yourself why we shouldn't be suspicious of a private altercation moments before his murder? I was attempting to extract information from him. As you all know, he was acting intensely suspicious yesterday. However, rather than avoid him, I thought to take action and confront him head first. You mentioned this before, but can you explain why you think he's putting on a facade? I mean, for all we know, every word out of his mouth could be a lie. His body language. Huh? Body language? It seems Kanan noticed it as well. Cyrus's body language gives off the impression that he's tense, as if he was being pressured or under stress. Actions speak louder than words, after all. That's true. He did look a little more foreboding than unusual. Ultimately, did you get anything from him? Unfortunately not. He was just the same stubbornly cryptic person as we last saw last night. So that's it. In Echo's recollection of the people involved with the murder weapon, whose name came up several times? Missy. So, don't you think your course of action would heavily imply a murderous intent that led to this circumstance? Yes, signs are strenuously pointed towards me being the one behind it all, but I don't wish to divulge the reasons behind those actions. I didn't want to admit it, but I was beginning to have my doubts about Missy. But if this discussion is worth anything, it had to be a test whether or not I could really trust Missy. She revealed a gun after all, and asked us tactfully to trust her. Should I even trust her to begin with, rather? What if she was just goading someone on to be incriminated so she could get away with it? Should I trust Missy? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna trust her, but I want to see what happens when I say no. Do I just get a game over? feel like in the past I might have done this, but yeah, no, we ain't gonna trust Missy. No. As of now, we have nothing tangible to gain from trusting her. Trust is only a concept that has to be tested over time, and to be frank, not enough time has passed to show Missy has trustworthy intentions, rather. She planted the gun to frame someone into a killing. She's just perpetuating this killing game cycle. We're getting nowhere like this. If Missy won't share her alibi, the only thing she is providing is a reason to believe she's the culprit. Exactly, and by doing so, she's just asking for us to dart around the subject of her disappearance. There can only be only one answer for the crime at hand, and it all boils down to Missy's gun. Then we're in agreement. There's no proof of anyone's involvement. Since Missy refused to deny our claims, we have our answer. No, you're making a mistake. What do you want, Missy? You're not going to give us any options, yet you continue to deny your involvement. If you refuse to contribute to the case at hand, this is the only conclusion. Oh. The vote was unanimous. It wasn't even up for debate at that point. Missy Vesper is the culprit. Oh, the vote is so close. Ha, not. Missy Vesper, you messed up big time. And even now you won't say anything to dispute the majority vote, even if you knew somewhere wrong that it was wrong? I know it's wrong. I never killed Cyrus. Then where were you when he died? I know where you were, but why don't you tell the others yourself? I can't. Or Echo, do you think this is right? Missy's suspicion overshadowed that. Well, why wouldn't it be? Oh. Alright then, I'm afraid we're going to have to respect the rules of the vote and put you through the ringer. Punishment time! Cool. Oh, wait, what? But Missy didn't do it. A trapdoor beneath Missy through the ground. Maybe I didn't do this the last time I played this. I think I was just like, yeah, we're gonna trust Missy. Instantly swallowed her into a descending void. Once again, her whereabouts were isolated from ours. She had fallen into a small, claustrophobic chamber square onto what looked like a restraining chair, her arms raised, suspended in the air by a thin wire. A small table unfolded on her lap, a single sheet of paper, and a thin pen were provided. Missy tried to stay still, but to avoid the fighting that was to come. Her passivity was futile. Wires jerked her arms around, cutting through the skin. Ugh. As the friction puppeteered her actions crudely. Help, help, help. The wires dragged Missy's arms through the manic emotion of a plea for help. It was useless. The single sheet fluttered to the ground. The floor, the canvas splattered blood, the ink. Help wouldn't be coming. Instead, the sides of the small chamber wall began to close in on Missy as her arms frenetically tried to fight against the wire control. It took all of her remaining strength to reach past the slim, constricting... Oh. I wanted to read that little last part. Slim, constricting walls with one weathered hand before they came to a full, flush close. And then she was murdered. After witnessing the brutality of her demise, I felt stone cold, like Steve Austin. I could feel the color drain from my face, but my consciousness was still and hollow. Missy was executed? Ashley finally emerged from the... I did not do this. I did not do this the last time. This is... Hold on, I'm fascinated. Because I know what happens, but I did not know that this could happen. Ashley emerged from the infirmary, but her tall frame folded under the fragility her pain caused. Bingo! Congratulations, you got what you wanted, right, Echo? Everyone's eyes burned through me. Ha! No, this is good. What are you talking about? The others stood by in pin-drop silence, their eyes laying severe judgment on my shoulders. Oh, I think in this instance, Echo knows. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate and determine and vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Even after all that, you still don't get it. Vote incorrectly. Echo! A fist collided with my draw as Lyle threw me to the floor. No one stopped him. I lay on the floor unmoving, staring blatantly at the silhouettes that made up the other students. The taste of metal soaked at the back of my throat. Incorrect, but Ashley could never. Listen to you. You insist that Ashley couldn't be the culprit. You're delusional. Zero spelled it out plain and simple, and now the rest of us are gonna get executed. Oh, maybe I'll spare Echo the execution and let Lyle do it for me, Lamau! Lyle sprang up, stormed off. I could hear his fist pound the wall of the courtroom. No, we'll get out of this. Lyle's outburst fell silent as the collapse of his body, filled the rest of the sentence. I could hear the others gasp, overlay attempts of darting, escape. This is awesome, actually. This is so awesome. I'm glad I clicked no. This is so dope. Because I know what happens. And if you are at this juncture, if you have not seen this before, this ending kind of just signifies, yeah, it had to be Ashley if it wasn't Missy. So Ashley is the culprit. But saying, no, let's not trust Missy has given us an alternate ending that I did not know existed, and I don't know if it existed when I played the game originally. And if it did, then I missed it, and if it didn't, this is awesome. I'm kind of eating this up. I thought back when I first saw Ashley's unconscious body in the casino. Ashley descended upon me, her face dark with contention and weakness. Her hand, I saw something in her hand. Echo, you knew. It was like she read my mind. Yeah, of course I knew. I coughed. I just don't understand why. Why? She was shocked. I can't tell you why. Unfortunately, it's pointless now. Ashley rose and shuffled off. My eyes widened. I gasped, trying to pull myself up to chase after her, but my head began to sting. My vision grew red and bleary, or pink and bleary. A high-pitched ring shook my head. Pointless. It felt like my head was splitting in two. Ash is alive, so it wasn't pointless. It wasn't pointless, right? Bad end. I love this. This was rad, dude. Ashley Westbridge won the ultimate prize. We did it. Y'all, that was incredible. I adore. Ooh, oh, there's like, I guess, a couple secret endings. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. And it looks like there is one more secret ending in this. I do wonder if... I'm kind of now wondering if Chapter 1 had a moment like that, but I don't think so since this is in the first, like, little spot. I don't think really there was ever a moment like that in Chapter 1. I do feel like there's gonna be a moment like that at the end, though. So there are... that's awesome. That's so rad, dude. Like, I kind of got goosebumps, dude. Like, I do kind of have goosebumps after that. I was like, oh my gosh. This is dope. Here, we're gonna load up. We're actually gonna finish the trial, but that's so awesome. Hey, I'm gonna clap it up for that. Yo, see, this is why we played the definitive edition. Because I'm like, there might be something else in here that might be like a little different. I know I want to go through to see all the different CGs and the updated art because I want to get like a full like definitive playthrough for a definitive edition. And then we get that and I was like, that's why we did it, y'all. That's so awesome. I loved that, actually. I loved that a lot. Yeah, I'll trust her. So now you know, I gotta start clicking all the wrong answers, baby. I want to believe in her. That meant scrutinizing her actions to free her from suspicion. We couldn't afford to jump to conclusions. If I may, I think we need to turn over as many questionable facts as we can to lift suspicion. I agree. The evidence is unmistakably painted with Missy's name, but I'm not convinced she would have... Oh, dang, we had a whole Missy execution, too. I'm sorry, I need like a second, because that was really dope. That was awesome. That was more time than I was expecting probably for this episode now, but like that was well worth it. that was legit very cool, very cool. I agree, the evidence is unmistakably painted with Missy's name, but I'm still not convinced she would have the malicious intent to kill Cyrus. Missy was the one who suggested splitting up to find things that could threaten Cyrus into talking rather, but she made it clear that she never had any intention of firing the gun. Is that so? It was after she had her conversation with Cyrus this morning. Our morning group, Kanon, Forte, Ashley, and myself paired off to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. After some time, Missy met up with me and Ashley outside the garage to talk about Cyrus's weird behavior. It was then that Ashley... Interesting. That Ashley discussed with Ashley rather the idea of threatening Cyrus to talk. This was just before the shots began. And it's clear that she used this opportunity to act alone and retrieve the gun herself to shoot Cyrus. How would that lift the suspicion from Missy? If anything, it's more damning proof. Forte says, "That's my cue," which is also very well done. Just a minute, please. What I don't understand is, rather, why would Missy kill Cyrus if she didn't get the information she wanted? I can only assume that following her case, she made an attempt to have a civil conversation with Cyrus only to walk away empty-handed. The motivation is lost, and there shouldn't be any reason to threaten him further in that case. Oh, sure. Make up something in her defense, will you? I can't doubt Missy now. She's the only one who made the bold move of bringing the gun to our attention. Now I have to trust that she didn't do anything wrong. Okay. There's no telling what transpired between Missy and Cyrus. Seeing all of us witnessed her contentious interactions with him in the jazz club, it might take some work to get Lyle on the other side. As we continue. Missy could be lying and not getting information, rather, just like how she is withholding her alibi. Give it up. Why would we be protecting the culprit? Missy is the only one with actions of glaring, noteworthy suspicion. And if you can disprove it, then by all means. This could be a part of her plan to lead us in circles during the discussion with her lofty admissions. Oh. Only 2 things to click. I'll just prove it. Hang on just a minute. We need to discuss every aspect of the escape before jumping to any conclusions. I believe there is something at the crime scene that can clear Missy of suspicion. Then out with it. Something that can clear her of suspicion? Well. There is a blowtorch. That Cyrus got. There's a gun that is not going to clear her, so I guess it's probably the kiosk that has the blood on it. Missy doesn't have to, yeah, I was going to say, she doesn't, no need to reassess. Okay. Well then the blowtorch, I was going to say, she doesn't have a connection with any of those. So the gun, sure, fine. Oh, there's blood on the gun? Oh, that's my bad. I didn't know that there was blood on the gun. That's on me. It's the only thing I can think of, but I need to spin it into an argument somehow. Although it has been noted several times, the gun puts Missy in a dangerous situation. There's something strange about the gun now. Lyle, say rather, there's something I want you to recall for me. Before discovering the body, you two ran into Missy in the 3rd floor main hall. Yes. That was right before I helped you out of the gallery. Did you say... Before discovering the body? Yes, okay. If that's the case, I want to ask, did you see blood on her hands? But blood on her hands? No, nothing of the sort. So you didn't see blood stuck to her hands, but there was blood stuck to the handle of the gun? If Missy really did kill Cyrus by shooting him, then why didn't she have blood stuck to her hands when you saw her? You wouldn't be able to forget seeing something shocking like bloodstained hands. Then we move on. Simple answer. Missy could have just washed her hands. When Say and I approached the 3rd floor, I saw Missy exit one of the personal rooms. She refused to share her alibi. She was in one of the personal rooms? That's interesting. She refused to share her alibi because she must have been plotting the crime with an accomplice on the 3rd floor. That's why she was acting fishy when Lyle and I ran into her. Huh? I thought I heard something like that outside the garage doors. Oh yeah, that conversation. The parts of a conversation I heard before I called for help. Now that I think about it, I think I can figure out who was speaking at the time. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around the building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can to get us out of here, rather, unlike the rest of you. And what were you doing around poking one of the 3rd floor personal rooms anyway? How did you even get in there? That is none of your business. So you heard that. Yes, Say and I caught Missy in the act. She was poking around in one of the 3rd floor personal rooms. How do you suppose she entered that room? She entered using the residence bracelet. Oh. Oh? How else would she have gotten in? The door was intact, so it's not like Missy broke it down. Whose room? The residence room bracelet. How could she have acquired such a thing? I can only assume that Cyrus and Missy talked about earlier might have to do with the fact that she acquired something that couldn't possibly belong to her. Oh, maybe that is. In fact, the idea for entering someone else's room alone is cause for concern. That is cause for concern, low-key. That's true. How did she enter someone's room? The mechanism for every room lies in our personally assigned bracelets. Similar to how the bracelets grant access to the kiosk functions, the door must default to being locked and only unlock when nearby with the corresponding bracelet. There, the bracelets on our person can't unlock the doors that don't match, so Missy entering a room that's not hers implies that she gained access rather through alternative means. What alternative means? What else? She was witnessed speaking to the other student here that has been revealed to be associated with the killing game, Cyrus. That's true. Fine, I'll yield. Cyrus offered me the bracelet of a student was closely acquainted with. Out of morbid curiosity, I was told to visit her room. Missy withdrew a small rose gold bracelet similar to the one we all wore ourselves. That's not rose gold. That looked pink to me. So yes, not only do I have the bracelet on my person, I do have a bracelet that does not belong to me. As for what I discovered in the room, well, that's as much as I'd like to say. And that's more than enough. There we have it. That explains how she gained entry into the room, as well as a list of reasons for her to retaliate against Cyrus. If that doesn't pin Missy down for a motive, then I don't know what will. I was gonna say, if you found the body of, like, your homie, then I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That does sound pretty bad, and I'm about to have an alarm go off, so let me silence this. There we go. Go on, Lyle. Ack. She had such a thing this whole time? How was I supposed to defend something like that? So much evidence stacked against Missy. Despite the overwhelming number of incriminating facts against Missy, Missy remained unflinching. It's like she's waiting for what? For us to all act on our behalf? Out of trust? Remember, the 21st night of September. I'd used the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I absolutely have no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. If Missy's withholding her alibi, there must be a reason behind it. I'll have to try and work with it rather than against it. I have to trust Missy's intentions, therefore I should try to construct an argument that does not involve her. Is there another angle I can approach this by? Before we learned of her activity in the room, we were in the middle of disputing the bloodstained gun. Lyle has been aggressively utilizing the connection between Missy and the gun for his argument. But let's say we take her out of the picture. Say she never came in contact with the gun. Perhaps we can tackle the argument from a different side. The other side. With just the gun solely in question, we can ask, who really handled the gun? Who handled the gun? Fine, why don't we entertain the thought? Given the bloodstained handle on the gun, whoever had the gun must have stained their hands in the process, rather. There can only be two people who handled it. Cyrus and Ashley. Well, I was like, wait a minute, it might make sense if it was Ashley, huh? So there you have it. Echo, do you think Ashley is capable of killing? What? No, Ash would never! Unless she did. After all, I'm certain she knows the dangers of killing someone. Her whole life would be on the line. So what? This is the only plausible explanation if we take your position of Missy's innocence into consideration. If Ashley's life was threatened, don't you think she would retaliate? Anyone would fight back. Fight or flight, Echo. There were signs of a struggle in the smoke lounge after all. That can't be it. You introduced this possibility. You silly goose. Besides, you confirmed it yourself. We recognize that everyone has an alibi, and we've been neglecting talking about Ashley since she's unconscious. Wait, no. So if you really want to stand by Missy being trustworthy, then you have to realize rather, there must be someone else within our group that killed him. No, Ash doesn't have a motive either. Yes, she does. Echo, think about it. Throw away your relation to Ashley and think logically. Just because she isn't here to defend herself doesn't mean she's immune to being suspected. No. Horse girl? No. My head was pounding. I was beginning to feel dizzy. If Ashley had the rope when we were together on the second floor, and there was no rope to be found at the crime scene, she must have bound the double doors in the gallery. Say confirmed that the rope kept me in the gallery. Ashley yelled out and left to confront something. If you think about whoever handled the gun, it can only be those two people. No. I don't want to think about it. Please. Stop this. They don't want to discuss Ashley's involvement due to their close connection, but there might be something important that we're missing. Something important that Echo only knows. Echo is guarding something. But they've painted themselves into a corner. There's no clean way to get it out of this mess. Yikes! Echo, you good over there? No, I'm not good. I can't accept this. If Echo refuses to understand that Ashley is the only person who is capable of handling the gun and shooting Cyrus, then I'll have to lay out all the pieces for them. And just like that, we're Lyle. Puzzle pieces as always. Echo, allow me to discuss the facts. All of them. Even the unsavory, trifling matters that will come into play, just like when you were the one who noticed Art slipping up. If you insist on protecting Missy, then there's only one person whose actions remain to be scrutinized, and Ashley is the culprit in question. Do you have any objections? Do I have any objections, rather? I apologize, Echo, but this topic cannot be ignored. Yeah, this is pretty important. The rest of the class remained as silent as Echo glared a hole at me. Yeah, look at that face. That's a face in despair. Again, let us begin with a weapon, the mysterious gun that came from Missy's possession. Seeing as the gun handle was stained with blood, we can only surmise two people were in contact with it. As we found on the crime scene, both Sirius and Ashley had bloodstains all over their hands, which naturally leads us to believe that one of them fired the gun. I can concur with that assumption. As for now, how it came to appear on the third floor, just before the gun— You're talking now, huh, Missy? Just before the gunfire occurred, Ashley and I hatched a plan to confront Cyrus. I was to use the gun rather to show a threat. However, when I went to retrieve it from the foyer, it was missing before I had got to it. It's plausible Cyrus got to it before you. Regretfully so. Then, at the speculated time in question, Cyrus is the only person suspected to have initially retrieved the gun, since Echo, Ashley, and Kanan and Forte were elsewhere. Now, I believe we can all agree, based on the sounds heard, that there were 4 shots fired in total. In that case, we need to determine the order and relevance of each shot. Connor and I boarded ourselves in the garage on the 3rd floor after the first shot rang out in the smoke lounge. We sheltered ourselves inside there from there out, so that was after shot 1. We heard shot 1 together, right? Lyle and I partnered up after the second. We were all the way on the 1st floor. So we can determine that the first 2 shots were not life-threatening ones, since no one was in the vicinity of the smoke lounge, and there were 2 gunshots in the wall. However, between the 2nd and 3rd shots is where Ashley's alibi becomes problematic. You're wrong! Okay, there's nothing wrong with Ashley's alibi, and I can verify it for her. I was with Ashley when she went to the 2nd floor to the climbing center, as well as when she went to the 3rd floor. I never let her out of my sight the entire time we were traveling up and down the stairs. Sure. Echo's thoughts and judgments are being clouded by their relation to Ashley. After focusing somewhere on Echo's statements, wait a minute. Sure. When she went to the 2nd floor climbing center, as well as when she went to the 3rd floor. Is that true? Is that true? She took us by the hand. Now, here's the thing. The entire time that you were traveling up and down the stairs, I don't know if that's true. The rope. I think the wording on that one is a little bit weird, but that is the correct piece of evidence that proves that you were separated. Didn't you say Ashley shoved you in the art gallery just before you heard the 3rd shot? I was gonna say, that's on the 3rd floor, so technically he's still right. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The rope binding the doors proves that there was a moment that you two were separated from sight. It's entirely possible that she entered the smoke lounge in that time frame. In that case, the 4th and final shot ought to be the one that killed Cyrus. The only person left without an alibi, given the testimony of the culprit's last movements, the only person left is Ashley. Oh, here it goes. That can't be it! No, Ash yelled Missy's name. Okay. It's possible Missy was in the vicinity of the smoke lounge. I don't think that's true, because you guys said that she wasn't. Wait just a minute. Oh, dang, it's crazy that they're all going against him. They all have to shoot him down on this. Wait, that's not possible. Remember, Lyle and I saw Missy exiting our personal room. She had just come out of the personal room when we arrived, and only then began to act suspiciously. I suppose I ought to surrender to holding my tongue. Yes, I was withholding my alibi earlier, but the point of secrecy has now passed, that my whereabouts have come into direct question. I kept my alibi secret to prevent beginning today's deliberation with immediate worry and disillusionment. I confess Cyrus bestowed upon me a terrible gift, this bracelet. It allowed me to access a room that was not mine, a room that belonged to a close personal acquaintance, one I hold in my thoughts often. I entered the room upon Cyrus taunting instructions that I see for myself would become of this person. I discovered nothing save for my fears becoming reality. My alibi is simply as follows. I did not leave the 3rd floor personal room I gained entry to after I heard the 2nd gunshot. Therefore, I did not see Ashley on the 3rd floor at all. Took you long enough to get that testimony out of you. But in that case, Ashley really is the only possible person to have encountered Cyrus in the smoke lounge. Therefore, we can assume that the appearance of the room that Ashley and Cyrus fought in during the duration of the 3rd and 4th shot. No way! Ash would never. The smoke lounge wasn't in a state of disarray, but the casino wasn't. Ashley's body was found in the casino, so it's possible she never even set foot in the smoke lounge. I don't know if that's true. No, I don't think that's true. There were bloody hands on the door handle, right? No, there's no visible evidence of the two fighting. There is, right? The glass? I don't think it's any of these. I guess it's gotta be the glass. A new tactic is in order. I'm glad that everyone gets one of these. Echo, your judgment is clouded, and I think you know that. There was glass and blood littered near Ashley's unconscious body in the casino, could only come from one place. The casino itself was spotless, free of signs of struggles. The detritus leading from the smoke lounge to the casino, however, tells a different story. I was gonna say, there was a whole path leading over there, dude. With all these facts in mind, let's review. We discovered everyone's paired alibis, Missy's room activity, Echo's entrapment in the art gallery in relation to the gunshot. Timeline frees them from suspicion. We also determined that Cyrus was the only one who initially wielded the gun, and that Ashley had plans to counter Cyrus' scheme. In the small period of time during which Ashley and Echo were separated, a struggle occurred between Ashley and Cyrus in the smoke lounge just across the hall, resulting in the disorderly state of the room. I don't know who we're gonna play Chapter 3 as. Is it gonna be Echo? Are we gonna be Lyle? Is it gonna be me? I don't know, dude. And yet, at the end of it all, one person came out alive and the other dead. Echo, you have to see that the culprit behind this is as plain as day. What? No, my words, they're shaky. Ooh-ah! Face the facts. Face the facts. There's only one possible answer. I refuse. I don't even recall Ash considering Cyrus a threat, so what motive would she have to kill him anyway? Echo, why are you lying? Ooh. I was gonna say, that's not true at all. I was like, hold on a minute, didn't everyone kind of considered Cyrus a threat, low-key? That couldn't be further from the truth, huh? There must be anyone else involved. Anyone but her. Jeez. Echo, you really are a stubborn one. You don't understand the danger we're in. Please, Echo, I understand that this is a painful realization for you. We're just as mortified that such a dreadful thing has happened. It's awful, but there has to be a reason, right? No. If there is a reason, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would Ash endanger herself like this? Throwing her life away like this? It seems so careless. Kiosk message. Allow me to widen your depth of field. Alright, that's pretty dope too. I believe I have the answer. Or rather, we all do. It seems Echo didn't see the kiosk message. No, I sure didn't. Kiosk message. Remember, the digital kiosk can deliver dictated messages across all other kiosks in the building. That's correct. Kanan and I saw the message as we waited out the gunfire in the garage. The message was dictated from the smoke lounge sometime after the third shot was fired. I recall it read, "Kill Echo." Yep, that's right, exactly. No one asked you. Uh-oh. I remember now, Lila and I saw the second floor kiosk light up while we were running by. Come on. You heard the gunshot too, right? So far there have been 3 shots, but where the hell did a gun come from? How should I know? Hey, slow down, I can't keep up. We can't take our sweet time in a moment like this. Lyle, look. The kiosk is just displaying a message. The smoke lounge, that's on the 3rd floor. I never saw such a thing, but that's an awfully damning in what it's implying. I concur, it's quite a pointed message. In that case, we can assume that. That Echo might have actually been Cyrus's intended target. Echo actually didn't endanger herself out of carelessness, but for your sake. She threw her life into the fray to keep yours safe. Then there should be little doubt that that 4th shot must have been the one to kill Cyrus. The shot... Oh man, that's why she... Oh man, dude! And in the bad ending, when her words were shaky afterwards, she was like, why? It doesn't matter, it's pointless now, because Echo was going to die because of the wrong vote. Dude, oh dude, man. That bad ending's so good. It's so good, dude. The shot fired after Ashley left Echo's side. I don't understand. Why for me? I'm not like the rest of you. I'm no ultimate student. You are now, remember? I can't survive this strife between ultimates. I don't have the skills or talent to offer to the world. It should have been me at the opposite end of that gun. Hey, Ashley, you going to recover or something so you can pop out and say, hey, what's up, hello? That's not Ashley. Man. Pardon me. The voice of Eve interrupted the looming courtroom silence. I have an update on Ashley's health. She is steadily recovering at the moment. She's okay. However, I detected traces of Complex 53 in her system. Complex 53? Is that the very same substance that Zero threatened time and time again to release? Yes, I examined the bracelet in her possession. It appears the glass vial has been shattered, allowing the liquid state to enter her system via absorption through the skin. Shattered. It's possible that it broke from some kind of impact that Cirrus and Ashley's fight. Just a minute. The bracelet in her possession? Is it not her own bracelet? Ooh. It is not. She had in her possession the bracelet of Silva Prower. Ashley's bracelet is still intact. Oh. Did she also see that room or something? If she had Silva's bracelet, then there's no doubt she had a clear motive. Huh? It's possible she was goaded by Cirrus with the bracelet of an important figure, just as Missy was. No way. Cirrus probably just broke the vial himself and then administered the liquid during Ash's fight. Or Zero could have unleashed it to harm her. Huh? Zero's killing game announcement always talks about toxic gases, so it's plausible he's the one behind it. Damn it, Echo. Pull yourself together. I'm tired of this. You still refuse to accept the reality of this case. Zero can't have done it, and I'll tell you why it's simply not up for debate. I was testing the rules of this game earlier, right? Rules 4 says breaking major assets is strictly prohibited, but nothing happened all day. It was only until the very beginning of this trial that I suffered the effects of Zero's sonic weapon as a punishment for breaking the rules. If you waited until we entered the trial ground to punish me, why would he unleash the Complex 53 toxin if there weren't any signs of Ashley breaking the rules? Ooh. Yeah, he got you. Zero, did you or did you not rather release Complex 53 on Ashley? What? I'm only the arbiter of this game, bro. Answer. Nope, I didn't do it. Yo, Zero, you're such a... You're such a little weasel. But I love you. No, this can't be you. You still don't get it? We've been running around in circles in this trial because you vehemently refuse to face the truth. Don't you have any value in your life? Your lapse in your lapse? You said big title. In judgment is what's going to get us all killed. Yo, him actually shaking is kind of awesome. Lyle, have some sympathy, won't you? You should have some empathy, dude. You've been through this last trial. But I have to agree with you. Echo, please. The trial is difficult enough to participate in, but it's necessary to determine for the culprit rather for our safety. Allow yourself to be selfish and act on self-preservation instead of the well-being of others. Don't concern yourself with protecting me. Don't concern yourself with speaking up for Ashley. You'll end up hurting yourself, rather, if we judge this case incorrectly. Like I did earlier, what was awesome. Just follow the truth and you can protect yourself. I know we're asking a lot since the truth isn't what you want to hear, but please. Hey, Echo, you gonna speak up now? Protect myself? What did that mean? I thought I had to protect Missy on behalf of trust. She put her faith in us, after all. I had to protect Ashley because she's my closest friend, but... myself? I feel stuck, and I'm never giving up, in the middle of a perfect day, and I'm tripping over words to say. I don't know, I know Missy didn't kill Cyrus, rather, I just know it. And it was impossible for anyone else to have killed him, so the answer was clear as day. I just didn't want to accept it. But by doing so, I was drawing out this trial for my own self-indulgence, and dragging everyone through this hell. Are we now us again? I've forgotten the reason we're here, to save ourselves. Yes, we are us again. And I've purposely suppressed the fact that there's something on the crime scene that's solidified Ash's involvement. It's when we clicked the hand and he was like, huh? And we didn't get anything, he got it. Oh, this is... I love that this is the way that this happens. Because last time we just got a, huh? I saw the damning thing, and I chose to forget it. Yep. The weapon was undebatable. The culprit had a motive. The struggle showed traces of her involvement. The person who fought Cyrus and eventually won was... Ashley Westbridge. Killed Cyrus. Circa. Very good. Ashley... Oh, you're here! Hey, I'm gonna assume this lull in conversation, you're done discussing the case, yeah? After all, it's pretty obvious from the start. Well, whatever. Okay, hold on. It was not... Okay, well... it was obvious it was one of two people from the start, and it was pretty obvious that it wasn't Missy. So it was obvious it was one of one person from the start. But it was, in the fact that it was still obvious in that regard, it was a very well laid out trial. It was a very emotional trial, and the fact that we actually got a bad ending to go along with it was actually really dope. That was very well done. Well, whatever. This is your space anyway. Without further ado, it's voting time. But, like, what if I just want to vote for Miss... Okay, fine. Goodbye, horse girl. I wish you would step back from that horse, my friend. Would you jockey up and do something to do. I actually don't think that song is on my playlist. I'm gonna add that right after this recording. Ding, ding, ding. Where's my... Here it is. Great. I like to keep my cursor up here so it's not just on the screen for you guys all the time. Yes, the culprit responsible for the murder of Cyrus Zurich is none other than Ash the Ultimate Jockey. Almost all of you voted correctly. Luckily, a majority rules, so it's punishment time. Who didn't vote for her? We did. Who didn't vote for her? I voted for her. I kind of wanted not to, but you know. Wait, what did you mean by almost all of us voted correctly? Well, it's my fault for not mentioning that this is not, it's my fault for not mentioning that not voting is a big no-no. But voting should be common sense. You'll have a responsibility to make your voice heard. Lives are on the line. Or something like that. Missy would know. Don't rope me into this asinine argument. Think of it this way. You're voting for the lesser of two evils. Punish one person for committing a crime or punish everyone for being ignorant. But I could see Echo's face, in Echo's face rather, they figured it out, so I suppose I'll call it a vote. Aren't I just the nicest, most flexible judge ever? But I clicked it. I clicked it. Well, maybe I was voting as somebody else. Echo, you didn't vote? How could I? Unbelievable. Everyone's lives are at stakes and you just had the audacity to protect the culprit? You are a hopeless case, Echo. I don't understand how you could fail to recognize the weight of our actions. The truth was glaringly obvious, yet you continued to run away. You have no perception of consequence. How dare you refuse to give your all in order to save yourself? Why are you attacking me? This thing just happened to my best friend. It's awful. Don't you know how I feel too, Lyle? We've already lost 3 friends. Why does this cycle keep turning? Of course I know how it feels, but it's pointless to let things spin out like this. That's why I'm trying my best to solve this killing game. I don't need you turning your cheek away from reality. That'll only make things worse. Damn it. Looked over to Ashley, who recovered enough strength to join us in the courtroom, at least the last moments of our discussion. Ash, I don't get it. To protect me, you threw yourself into danger. Yeah, dude. I get it. I'd be surprised if she didn't. And look where it got you, at the foot of an execution. Man, I'm gonna miss having horse girl voice. Ash, you're such an idiot. How could you do something so careless? Careless, I think, is the wrong word. She cares a lot about you. Echo, I thought about nothing but your safety. Huh? All I ever wanted is the safety and health of my friends, but look at what rotten trouble I've gotten everyone in. First Silva and now you, Echo. Maybe it's better like this. Eck, you don't have to worry about me. Thank goodness, right? If I was in that trial, you wouldn't have budged and you might have voted off Missy instead. Well, I mean, let me tell you. I'll keep it a buck with you, actually. In another world, we might have done such a thing and everyone died and you were not too happy about it. At least you know you can trust her. What are you saying? I thought that if I could remove a threat from this horrible game, my actions would have all been worth it. But it turns out Cyrus was just asking for this. Cyrus used Silva's bracelet as a show of a threat. That reason alone, he had it, and Silva didn't. The reason alone that he had it and Silva didn't was because Cyrus said that he eliminated him. Isn't that right? He said the same thing to me, and I received my additional bracelet. Cyrus, the ultimate confidential informant, knew things we would soon rather forget. and he used that information to get under our skin. I told you, someone to be wary of. So Ashley essentially lost us the Preservation Project's mole. What if he had information that could have gotten us out? Oh, he had information all right, but he would never tell. Zero's right. When I confronted him to inquire about this, his facade, rather, he kept dodging my questions. He was acting so odd. And it appears his strange behavior went all according to plan. He was acting suspicious to invite someone into attacking him. And I completely fell for it. But I felt terrible after, because when he collapsed, his facade faded and he laughed. He was glad. Yeah, Cyrus fully intended to take someone down with him. Cyrus fired those 2 initial shots to draw attention. I arrived on the 3rd floor with Echo, and I ushered Echo into the art gallery and bound the doors with rope from the climbing center. I confronted Cyrus in the smoke lounge, and he began to fire away. The 3rd shot was a near miss. Dang. Greetings, Clarice. It's Ashley. Cyrus. Not a step closer, Ashley. Unless you'd like to end up like your friend Silva. What do you know about Silva? Oh, I know everything there is to know. Financial records, personal records, etc. After all, I'm the ultimate confidential informant. My job is to seek information about the Preservation Project subjects. I personally saw to his removal. And you're next. Not if I have anything to say about it. Yeah? I'd act fast, if I were you. You don't want to go down in flames without getting the information you want, would you? How did his racing helmet end up in your room? Why, by yours truly, of course. And his personal vehicle is a 94 Lister Storm, the very vehicle that's in the garage right now. Dang. You son of a gun! Cyrus threatened me with an awful trinket and a time limit. He's prepared split gasoline. Oh. And a blowtorch ready to burn the room down if I didn't act. I fought to keep him at bay. He eventually dropped the gun. I retrieved the gun and gripped the handle fiercely, but Cyrus remained completely cool. He noticed my hesitation and silently tossed a tiny rose gold bracelet in my direction. I snatched it out of the air and turned it towards my hands to reveal the name engraved into it, Silva Prower. What will it be, Ashley? Silva didn't... Oh, okay, dang. I mean, I still want to read the dialogue. Silva didn't have long to live anyway. Oh. So why not expedite his demise? Quiet! This isn't right. Why'd you put us all through this awful game? For the sake of the future? I'm not an ultimate student. What? Let's play a game. There's 2 more bullets somewhere in that chamber. If you fire and I live... I'll let you walk away scot-free. Your hands would be clean, and you were meant to be an ultimate student, born to benefit the world. Oh, this is fascinating. If I die, then... Of course, you know what happens. But in his last moments, he just lets out a chuckle and sigh of relief. He looked relaxed. He looked calm as when we first met. I was confused. Why wasn't he fighting back at all? Heh. You're a tough nut to crack, you know? What are you doing? I'm trying to save you. I know I took a chance with that shot, but there has to be another answer. The Preservation Project's a miserable organization that I contributed to. I rallied this group of ultimate students, compiled all their information I could about all of you for the project. The project and their game. It's a cruel experiment for the sake of their future. This is the scene that I remembered. I was like, oh dang, she killed him and then still tried to save him. Why are you telling me this? So you won't feel guilty about killing me. But how could I not feel guilty? There could have been some other way to get you out of this mess. Cyrus, I don't understand. Why did I have to come to this? Because I thought I had immunity from this game, but when Zero called me out for my cover talent, I knew something was wrong. Why would Zero, an arbiter for the game, be conducted by the Preservation Project, wish to reveal my place in the game? Something was wrong. It's all wrong. This whole game is wrong. I couldn't wrap my head around a thing he was saying. I didn't dare or wish to know what he was talking about, but what's wrong? He coughed out a small chuckle. This? I made you do a horrible thing. The problem with this game is that you became attached to the ones you're with. You become attached to the ones you're with. As time goes on, bonds are made with strangers you eventually come to call your friends. I should have never involved myself with you all. I couldn't meet his eyes. I knew it would be too painful. And you might hate me for this, but it's for the best, for you and me. Winning this game is nothing but smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, but thanks for helping me escape this game. He held my hands with his own trembling grasp, weakly pushing my attempts at stopping his suffering away. After I shot him, I knew immediately what terrible fate I found myself in. I was tethered to meet the same end the moment I fell into his trap. I fled the scene, leaving it a mess because I knew it would be pointless to conceal the truth. But even then, I knew this trial discussion would trace back to my incrimination, rather. That's why I went so far as to shatter, the vial of Complex 53 and Silva's bracelet to take myself out of the picture. Asher, why would you do such a thing to yourself? It's awful. I know. Please don't hate me. And forgive me for making such a selfish request, but all I asked is that you live and survive. I did it all for you. Part of me is kind of wondering if we actually do have Echo be like the murderer in the next case. And there's a bad ending where Echo lives and survives, you know what I mean? I doubt that's the case, but that'd be kind of fun, you know what I mean? I did it all for you. Oh, that's sweet. But too bad for you that sickly sweet sentimentality isn't going to save you from your execution, silly. Murder is murder. What's the thing you say? Oh, there's no gray area about it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the worst part. That is her catchphrase. No, wait. There's no stopping this freight train of despair. Echo, choo-choo. Yeah, you were among the ones who sealed your fate yourself, after all. So sit back and enjoy the show. No. Echo, I don't think you should watch. Oh no. Oh, Echo. She shouldn't have had her hand out. That was not cool of her. He's gonna have nightmares forever. Ash's hand slipped through mine and she disappeared into the black as I collapsed over myself. All I could do was pull myself up and keep my focus squarely on Ashley as her horrified visage was projected to grimace upon us. I tried to soak up my final moments with her, even though I knew they were going to be gruesome. Ashley was chained to a metal post, and an industrial whirring spun in my head as a set of arms began to wind up. Clenched at the end of the arm was a horseshoe. Oh no. Oh, she's like, oh gosh. Ashley was bound in the direction of the mass grinding machine 40 feet away. Ashley's expression was taut, rather. There was only one way out of this game for her, and it was winding up in front of her, only a few paces away. The first pitch was thrown. The light clink at the top of the arm released a horseshoe. My heart dropped. It missed with a full thud on the dirt behind Ashley. The second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth pitches were thrown with wild abandon, as if purposely missing to prolong my own suffering. The anticipation was miserable. Ashley's gray, sorrowful eyes seemed to meet mine within projected screen. I couldn't look away any longer. Good. I was gonna say, you can't look at this. I felt sick. I turned away in agony and heard the distinct sound of a pitch-breaking bone. Ashley Westbridge, Ultimate Jockey, execution by horseshoes. Kind of reminiscent to Leon's execution from the first Danganronpa. I could feel the life drain from my body. There was nothing but pain during her last moments, the pain that destroyed her body. And that pain stung in her heart. Oh, it's so satisfying building up all this hope and cheer, eventually strike it down with a decisive kill. Riro! I didn't know you were part Scooby-Doo, Zero. It's a little boring, though. You killed participants, You participants killing for defensive reasons. We didn't even get a motive, which was a bit of a curveball, but it's interesting that a murder occurred nonetheless. I mean, I suppose I did put Cirrus on blast for conniving with the Preservation Project group. He got in the way of the game after all, so I guess it was beneficial for me in the end. The whole trial made my head spin. I felt wretched. I stared at the floor, which means that this game is not put on by the quote-unquote Preservation Project. Not a breath was heard from the others. They just seemed to be stunned into silence. And in the depths of our devastation, Eve's silvery voice crept in. I beseech you all to keep the memory of your friends close. It's awful. I don't want to remember this. Remain strong. As I nursed Ashley back to health, she kept asking aloud, "Is Echo okay? Is Echo okay?" I don't know if I would want to know that, actually. She cared for you until her very last breath. Do not think for a second that she didn't put everything on the line for you. But why me? I apologize. I cannot say for certain what she was thinking, except Ashley, without a doubt, cared for you deeply. Well, yeah, that much is obvious. As difficult as it is to say, cling to whatever remains of Ashley, her memory. Really, that's all you have to say this time, Eve? Some empty sentimentality? You know, Eve claims to be on your side, but look at what she's done. Why not just leave Ashley to die of Complex 53 poisoning, Eve? Oh, I know, because you love reveling in despair, too. You nursed Ashley back to health so I could kill her. That's actually kind of crazy. Ha 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 ha. Ugh. Ashley returned to us only to be cruelly beaten to death. That moment, that shred of relief, it was so quickly quashed. And it was so quickly mutilated between these twisted, dark feelings. How pathetic. You'll never end the game like this. You'll fail once more. Despair will triumph over hope, Eve, yet again. Yet again sounds like is like the other set of rooms. It seems like they all are people that related to maybe people that were here, but is it more so they've held this game one time before with those students? Maybe this isn't the first time that there was a Danganronpa lapse, or maybe it's not a lapse in judgment, it's a lapse in memory. We've done this before with 16 people, and they died. And now we're doing it all again. And it's all your fault. Zero and Eve warped away. The courtroom was engulfed in a silent darkness once again. Echo. Missy's voice was a whisper. She laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Hey, let's get you out of here. Dang, dude. Poor Echo, dude. I listlessly followed Missy out of the courtroom. Everyone else filtered out of the courtroom at their own pace as well, dissolving into their own individual lost thoughts for the evening. Without a single word, Missy led me down the living quarters hall to my personal room. Before I entered, Kanan stopped me out of nowhere, like an RKO. I realized that must have been hard for you, Echo. But, here. Just take this. Kanan handed me a photograph. Oh. Oh. It's the gang. Oh, the gang. Oh, it's the gang. Okay, we'll continue. Is Echo not in this? Did he take the picture? Did Echo just not show up? Everyone was in this photo except for me and Kanan. I took this photo on the first day. It was after the Killing Game announcement. After the Killing Game announcement, I recall the moment in time. I went to my personal room after declining Ashley's invitation to use the spa lounge with Pandora. Art insisted I work my magic to take this photo of the group since we'd be staying together as friends in this mansion. Despite that awful announcement, he still wanted to take a neat, pleasant picture. So I'm a little embarrassed of it. I don't often photograph groups, but 9:53. Hope this helps ease your pain. Why would you show me this? What do you mean? I don't want to see this. This idyllic scene of our friends who aren't with us anymore. The killings are too vivid in my mind to believe a simple photograph. I hate this. I'm sorry. I was just trying to help. Kanan tore the photo in half. Oh, I thought we tore it in half. Happy. Kanan spat her final remark with a huff before sulking off, her footsteps heavy on the carpet. Missy picked up the pieces of the photograph. That was awfully cold of you, Echo. What do you want me to do? I mumbled. I have nothing to offer the world as an ultimate. I can't do anything. I can't even save my best friend. I feel like I almost lost myself in that trial. I had to detach myself from the people I care about. For what, the truth? Just scoffed. After all, it was Missy's fault a gun was introduced to the group. It was her fault the gun fell into the wrong hands. Her fault I lost Ashley. Missy sighed softly. It was never my intention to get Ashley executed. I shrugged Missy away. I didn't want to listen to her. I went to my personal room. I sat on the bed. I sat. And I cried. Aw, dude. Man. Man. Poor lad. And that's where chapter 2 ends, I think. I think there might be like one bit of dialogue here. Yeah. Art and Ashley, they did a horrible thing for their friends. When pressed, the two of them only thought to protect the ones important to them. What an interesting concept. Completely idiotic, though. They disregarded their lives for someone else. Selfless and stupid, rather, is what they were. Selflessness gets you nothing in return. In a game like this, you have to be selfish and act in self-preservation. Always look out for number one. Number one, number one, number one, 110, Yep. And then the screen fills with 11010 over and over again, if I remember. And that, I believe, is despair. D-S-P-A-I-R. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 2. And this is where we ended last time. So everything up to right now is brand new and will be in the finale episode of our Danganronpa Lapse Definitive Edition playthrough. I loved this recording. I'd like to just give a couple of thoughts, because this is the first of the newer content that I've seen. Outside of, like, everything a part of the actual trial, that bad ending, it was crazy because I was like, this is legit a bad ending. The second it was like, no, when she was like, no, you've got the, and they, like, went through with the vote, I was like, huh? And it's crazy because Zero also even, like, at that time gave, like, Echo another chance. You know what I mean? I like that a lot. I liked it a whole lot. That was real good. So I'm really excited for Chapter 3. I don't know anything about how this game ends. It's something that has been, like, on my mind every once in a while over the years, but I've never had a chance to play Chapter 3, and then I saw the Definitive Edition came out, and I was like, well, if there's a Definitive Edition, I feel like I want to at least, like, peek to see how much is new. And I saw that there was, like, some extra art, and now I know that there's this bad ending that I don't think existed the first time, so I'm really glad we actually did go through, going through the prologue in the first chapter again, in the second chapter now, and I'm excited to play the third chapter, and I'm excited to get it out to you guys. So for everyone, I hope people who experienced the first two chapters with me, like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was, may have even been longer at this point. I hope that they have at least watched the second half of that. I know several people have, but seeing that bad ending, I might, like, do a little section highlight of that, but I don't really want there to be any spoilers. But maybe I will, especially if you want to go back and watch Like, if this is, I'm trying to think about it if this is, like, your first time watching this experience. You know what I mean? Maybe I should, like, section off that bad ending, in the like, a YouTube chapter system, like, oh, well, this is a bad end. But it also definitely exposes who the killer is. But I think at the point we're at, it was pretty glaringly obvious that it was Ashley. So maybe I won't do that. I'm going to save it right here. Because everything, including that triple dot, is brand new, baby. Is brand new content. I think it was Ryan who made mention of the birthdays. I think I looked at everybody else's birthday, but somebody who's October 4th. I believe this is coming out sometime in the first week of October. Probably not. Probably not Kanan, actually. Probably not her birthday. It'll probably be after that. February 15th, February 2nd, couple February boyos. March 27th, September 9th, November 13th, August 10th. I think Ashley is the closest one to my birthday. No, it's Pandora. She's 2 days away. She's dead. But she was kind of a goat. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I've just saved. Let's, quit to the main menu. Let's end it with this music. I'm so actually excited to play Chapter 3, knowing that there is also one more additional, like, bad ending to get, it looks like. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for that. It'll probably, I would assume it's gonna be in the trial again, and it'll probably be closer to the end. But if I missed it, I got so many saves that I could probably find it pretty easily. Until next time, though, I am taking off. I hope you guys are enjoying, this kind of Danganronpa Lapse. I'm not gonna call it an anthology, it's really just a playthrough. Doing full chapter at a time. Usually when I would do these, I think I would do like, hey, we're gonna do daily life and then we'll do deadly life, but since we've played these before, I was like, hey, let's just knock it all out. And I think we're gonna do the same thing for Chapter 3. You're gonna get daily life, deadly life, and the finale of Danganronpa Lapse. I think I'm releasing these weekly, so next week. Until then, I'm taking off. Toodaloo Flight Crew. One more time, check out the creator in the description. If you want to play Danganronpa Lapse Chapter 3 before I do, get in there, you got a week to do it. Or if you want to wait, hey, you know, come along with the ride. I've really enjoyed this one. This is, I played a lot of Fangans, but this one had like a special place in my heart. So I'm really glad that this is kicking off these Fangan Fridays, or whenever they actually come out. I'm taking off. Toodaloo Flight Crew. One more time, for real this time, thank you for watching. Wait, well now there was no music. It stopped. Thank you for watching.